the place where everybody knows your name. Laughter fills the air like a sweet refrain. Sit and share a story, but I drink or two. In this cozy bar, where dreams come true, where smiles and friends remain, and good times ease the pain. Here we go again.
Hello, hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you let me know? Tomasz Ironing, Renaissance man. No worries, catching a bit, bud. Mandy, how's it going? Esther, hoe gaat het? Casper, how you doing, bud? Steve-O. Good evening. More from Steve and Helen later, by the way. That's Helen, our Norfolk correspondent, doing remarkable work in the field. Botrix, correctly joined the channel too, well done. About bleeding time. How are we all? Are we all alright? My cold hasn't disappeared. In fact, if anything, it's got worse the last 2 days. And sneezing like a Colombian airport sniffer dog. It's awful. Awful. But loud and clear. Lovely, lovely, lovely to hear it. Lovely to hear it. I've done some messing around, as you can see as well, on the screen and things. So the chat has moved to the left because the jukebox is now in the bottom right. It's a proper Wurlitzer. Yes, Mandy. Just as you were typing that, I was explaining what was happening, as always. Yeah. So the chat is the same size, but the different side, and then we've moved things around slightly to fit that in, because I think it looks quite well. And what you get is a much better idea of what song is playing, which is really nice, I think. Works quite well. It looks like the video jukebox that we had in the pub that I went to when I was younger, Cascades in Mossley Hill in Liverpool, which was fantastic. I used to love going in there. Where's the bar going? What bar? What bar? There is no bar. We're in the bar. The bar is the bar. Yeah, I don't want it to be too complicated with too much stuff going on, but just to change it up slightly every now and then, I think, doesn't do it too much too much harm, does it? Just trying to think what else have I changed, what else have I done? Have I got everything working properly? But I like that. I like the proper old school Wurlitzer. You can imagine Fonzie, can't you? Elbow in it. I moaned earlier about it being cold, because it's been cold today. But I got out the shower about 10 minutes ago, so I am red hot. Red hot, it tells you. Red hot. It's been cold today though, hasn't it? Open the window slightly to see if there's any kind of chill coming in. The United Wardrobe of America has been tiled. It is now wooden, as you can see. See if you can see it any better now. Yep. Not all the lights are on. Now all the lights are on. I did forget one thing, didn't I? Always, always forget one thing at least. Horace is indeed there. He is sitting off. The heating's on, so you fell asleep during the England game. I didn't even watch the England game. What did I have on? I had something else on instead. I'll tell you what it was. It was Big Jet TV. I was watching Heathrow departures live. And then went for a walk. And then watched the making of Red Dwarf Series 6. And had a shower. And sneezed. That's my entire day sorted out. I meant to go out and do some filming earlier. I never got round to it because it's been horrific today, hasn't it? So, no. Just thought it wasn't white. Yeah, it stands out, the fact that it's not white. I mean, I can go further down because you can see there's a bit of white further down there, but this was just done sort of last minute to see what it looked like. Yeah, I'll go further, so it goes down behind Horace's head as well. Just to get rid of some of the white, because it was really, really sort of sticking out, wasn't it, at one point? I could even, I suppose, I could put a throw over the chest of drawers, so that's not white either. So it's a little bit more snuggified in there, if that makes any sense. Bit of Jerry, yeah. It was good as well. There was it was funny seeing the A330s or A320s looking like little toy planes compared to the massive A380 that was taken off. Those things are absolutely insane how big they are. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Horace's head does cover it, but I don't know, I could cut 1 into 2, couldn't I? Just one more tile. Split it in half and then go across and it will cover all of it. Jerry, no, it wasn't Jerry Seinfeld, Jerry Dyer on Big Jet TV. And he's sticky back plastic for the drawers. I've had sticky back plastic everywhere. I suppose so, yeah. I couldn't I? Just to make it look a little bit more less. When it was completely white behind me, it was too much. It was too aggressive coming out the background, unfortunately. Looked at the weather for here and Southport. Looks good from Tuesday, Wednesday, and a week ahead. I've just seen the weather forecast as I was walking in here, and they were talking about it being 10 degrees warmer than it is now. So it looks as though maybe next week, especially, might be insanely nice. I'll have a look now, actually. Because it's going to get as low as 4 degrees. 8 o'clock in the morning, so when I'm taking Jess to work tomorrow, it's going to be cold, man. But then, yeah, Wednesday, 18 on Wednesday. Oof. But wet. It's going to rain here, but it's going to be warm, so I don't mind. Yeah, bit of plane talk. I should have put that on really, shouldn't I, in the corner? Bit of plane talk. That's moved as well into the corner. Your first go-to for Jerry's was Springer. You don't watch him either. Or you didn't watch him either. They are being repeated on some shite channel on Sky, and they're bloody awful. I mean, awful. I remember them being bad, but they're even worse than I remember. Jerry. Fuck's sake. And even worse is that little bit at the end where everyone does that to try and get on telly. They do some really stupid rap, or we've come all the way from fucking Moose Knuckle, Arkansas to see you, Jerry. Fuck's sake. Ali, oh. Are you doing alright? You're going to put your shorts away for the week, but... you were going to put your shorts away. Your work shorts away. You might give it another week. I would do. Judging by what it looks like. Have a check yourself, but... As I say, Wednesday, it looks like it's going to rain. When I say looks like it, there's a 90% of it raining. 90% chance. But it's going to be 18 degrees, so it's warm, isn't it, man? It looks fairly warm for a good week or so. Can't be bad, can't be bad. I may not throw away my shorts yet either, same thing. I was going to get me suitcase down with the thick, heavy hoodies and things down and throw me shorts in there instead. Swap them round, but nah, I'll wait. You had frost on Friday morning, so it is getting to that time of year where it will be red hot one day and there will be frost the next morning. It's mad. Is it you, or is the chat not fully on screen? Do you want me to have a quick check with this? It's showing as being fully on screen for me. Is that any better? You had the minus 1.4 the other morning, so you're looking forward to the 16 to 18 degrees Celsius next week where it's a bit nicer. A bit more walking outdoors, I think. The jukebox it's class, isn't it? It's a proper old school 1950s Wurlitzer. It's better, right, so that doesn't matter if it's there or moved along, so it's alright. It was right at the edge. Ah, well, it's alright there then, isn't it? As long as you can see it, that's the main thing. More tea, man, more tea. Hello to the 6,000 people watching me on Twitch. I'm only joking, there's no one watching on Twitch. And the person who followed me on Wednesday must have been blocked for being a Barry Horn actress or whatever it was she was. You know, one of those people that follows you and then tries to spam you with stuff. Nah, not having it, mate, not having it. It was right on the edge. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Right on the edge. I was going to tell you something then. I can't think. If it's important, it will come back to me. If it's important. Ooh, Echo and the Bunnymen killing Moon. Why isn't that showing the artwork? Show the artwork, you slug. I like it. I like the fact that it's a bit more with the artwork and everything. Normally, when the artwork's on there, it looks okay. Just looks a bit more natural. We have got something else, I'm sure we have, haven't we? A snug. We've got a snug as well. We have. I hope everything's working. I genuinely do. I managed to get everything sorted out early today. But I'm still convinced I've missed something out. Just because of how I'm feeling, which is not great. Did me walk on the treadmill. Didn't go outside because I looked out and it was pissing down with rain. I thought, nah, I'm not having that. But I should have recorded something. I've done one intro. I've got the next video already done, uploaded, waiting to go on Tuesday, I think it was, wasn't it? And then I should have recorded at least 2 more videos for the next 2 weeks after that. So if it's going to be nice this week, I might do that. I might get out. I went out yesterday. I went and got my car cleaned. I had to wear my sunglasses, and then within seconds of coming out, the skies went jet black and it started hailstoning. And I could barely see where I was going, so I thought I'm going to have to go and pull up somewhere and park the car for a while. So I went down to the front. And then the sun came out, and then it was, to one side of me, it was absolutely jet black, raining and hailstone. To the other side, the skies were blue, and it was lovely sun out there and all kinds of stuff. Just, it was bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. So there's no way on earth I'm getting my camera out, because if I do, it will be ruined. Ireland's playing Greece in the footy. Oh, you asked where the bar was going? No clue. You mean that bar? Ali, you working girl, go ahead. I should just move things around slightly. So it will look slightly different, but it's fitting things in out the way, isn't it? Be right back, no worries. I will watch this back, and if it doesn't work properly, then it will get changed again. But I think I like the way the Dukey looks. I quite like that. Yeah, a lot of things a lot of warning signs you will normally get in the top left-hand corner, won't you? So, warning, Ali is now serving, and things like that. Just fitting things in where I think they fit quite nice. There's also in that corner will be the alerts, as well as the berry pory stuff. So hopefully it should look alright. Hopefully. And also, if I'm doing footy streams, there will be also another thing for that as well. On-screen graphics, which will be much easier to control and will look a lot more profesh. You can make it look like it's an actual screen on, like a Sky screen. Yep, Ali and Steve up there. Steve with your usual thoughtful face on. That face that you normally pull of what the bleeding hell are these up to here. Logo pause notifier thing needs moving left a bit. That will have to wait, because to do so we'll end up with a black screen, so that'll have to wait. But sort of touching the screen there a little bit. Bit more over, right? It is. It's very Rodin, isn't it? The Guerrilla Thinker. Very nice. Oh. I am sick of this cold, I really am. Genuinely sick and tired of it. It needs to disappear. What's the Twitch username? I think it's Tricadelic. It is, yeah, Tricadelic. Tomasz Tricadelic. As I've used that for almost everything, on account of the fact that nobody else uses it. When I tried to use Treacle, which was my nickname in the pub, everyone uses Treacle all around the world. So emails, Treacle at BT Internet, taken. Treacle at Hotmail, taken. Tricadelic, unused. Of course it's unused. There's only one weirdo on this planet with a name that even comes close to that. So Tricadelic is Treacle and Funkadelic or Screamadelica by Primal Scream mixed together, which I think is a good name, apart from the fact that it's also my username or screen name on PlayStation. And one of the lads that we used to play Call of Duty with used to let his son play with us. He was about 11 or 12 at the time. I used to call me Trickle Dick. It's not fucking Tricadelic, lad. That's what I said, Trickle Dick. Nah. What is treacle? It's sugary molasses, isn't it? that thick, gloopy, sugary stuff treacle. And the reason why I got called that is because of EastEnders, the soap opera, Cockney soap opera, and a character called Pete Beale, who used to always call the barmaids treacle, which is treacle tart. So it's a bit offensive, really, isn't it? Gives a cap a splush treacle. Everyone used to call me that in the pub. Gives a pint treacle. And then eventually it became, everyone called me treacle. I'm in my dad's phone as treacle at the moment. Not son or Nick or anything like that. You know, no. Treacle. Give us a cap of splush treacle. Yes, if you don't know how it's spelled, trickle dick. There you go. Watching it on Twitch as well. I'm getting bare viewers, fam. Bare viewers. All over the place. I was going to have a glass of wine tonight. A glass of wine on screen, but I never got round to it. I've still got beer in the fridge, but I've not been drinking that the last couple of times, have I? Because of the illness. It's been purely tea and lemsip. Wine. It's very Craig Charles, isn't it? It's always wine. There will be sneeze breaks as well, I can guarantee you that. Absolutely guarantee you. I've been doing it constantly all bleeding day. How's Mrs. Tom and Domingo Suarte? I still need to find out where that came from. Ah, no, he's Portuguese. It's Domingos Duarte, isn't it? That's who it is. Domingos Duarte. But I'm sticking with Domingos Suarte now. Not mixed, no. But not far off, because down followed by down. But it's been a bastard, this cold will not disappear. I mean, I'm used to sometimes getting a cold that lasts 2 or 3 weeks, but normally in your second or third week it's tailed off slightly. This has got worse, it's mad. A proper wine bar. Tea and lemsip. People do have lemon tea. And people have lemon in Earl Grey. Instead of having sugar and milk, they will have a slice of lemon and some honey. Was it, who was it used to drink that all the time? Robert Plant, I think it was, wasn't it, from Led Zeppelin? He'd have, I'm sure it was Earl Grey, a slice of lemon, or a wedge of lemon sometimes, and some honey. He said it was good for his throat. Echo Beach, which can be sung to the, tune of, no, it's the tune of Echo Beach. I have occasionally sang that with the words anal bleach, which gives it a whole new sort of sound to it, I think. Anal bleach, far away in time. It's a good tune, that, wasn't it? Was it Toya who did a cover version of that as well? Someone did, didn't he? I'm sure it was her. Eccles Beach is near you, and you substitute the words locally. As you would do. Lovely stuff. Too much information. It wasn't too much information. I haven't had it done. It's just the words fit. If you followed me on Twitter any time in the past 15 years, you would see there's lots of that happening. Currently singing, and I put weird words into other people's songs because they just pop up into my head and I sing them out loud, genuinely, which is a bit weird. That is weird, to be honest. Oh, but a Rollins band, Liar. Fantastic. What a tune that is, man. Good video as well. Henry Rollins with one of the biggest necks in rock and roll. He's a weightlifter. Neck on him's like that. Proper angry head. And he's working on the second attempt of the cricket ball. Crack, banter. Yeah, your first attempt was fantastic. It was perfect. Mandy is knitting a cricket ball. Let's have a look. See if I can find it. You sent it last week, didn't you? Should be here somewhere. Cricket ball. Le ball de cricket. You come to the conclusion that female cricketers must be better at cricket than men. No, they're not. They're genuinely not. But they are really, really good. There's some sports in which the female version of it is bloody awful compared to the men's. Cricket is one of the ones where they are really, really good. As is rugby league as well. Jesus. Some tough girls in that game. Cricket's good though as well because it's quite even though it's quite a hoofy sport where if you're big and solid you can hit the ball a long distance, and if you're running quick and you've got good technique you can bowl quickly. It's a very technical kind of sport, cricket. So it's pretty good. You don't need to be massive to play it. You can be good at your technique, which is also, I think, one of the reasons why I like Mel Jones. When she does the commentary, she knows what she's talking about. She's got a really nice, mellow voice, good to listen to. Not screeching and squeaking all the time. She knows the techniques and the technical side of things as well, so I quite like that. But the women's cricket this year in the 100, some of the best games to watch were the women's games, not the men's. The men's were a little bit too... Everyone was trying to web the ball out the park, and it was just... Scores were quite low, and you got people bowling just under 100 mile an hour at times. It was all a bit too shizzle. Kirsty showed it on her stream. Your ball is famous. It's world famous. 2.7 billion monthly users on YouTube. Your ball is out there. Which is a worry for all of us, really, isn't it? Well, all us men anyway. Sometimes the best weekends are the quietest ones. Where is Kirsty? Be around and about somewhere. The ball is massive. Men have bigger hands, so it's easier for men to throw and catch. No. Opposite. The bigger the ball is in your hand, the easier it is to manipulate. It's... No. It doesn't quite work that way. But I don't know. I haven't got a cricket ball here. They are fairly big. It should be easier to catch a football than it is a cricket ball. So the bigger the ball is, the easier it is to catch. So with having smaller hands, the ball is bigger in your hand. Less chance of it bouncing out. Plus, if you made the ball smaller for women to play cricket with, it wouldn't be as heavy, it wouldn't go as far, they wouldn't score as many runs. It'd be even more difficult to catch. Your ball is renowned, world renowned it is. Would it be bigger than a slitter? It is. There's your slitter. It's not too much bigger, but it is bigger than that. Just by a little bit. These are mad though, because I think these will absorb water a bit more than a cricket ball will. And they've got a really nasty seam that goes all the way around them, like a tennis ball seam. Whereas the cricket one's just on sort of the equator. Cricket ball's about the same size as a hockey or tennis ball. Man, you can catch a tennis ball, no problem. The cricket ball is harder. It is. But you learn technique. If you don't learn technique, you'll break your fingers in bits. So you learn it very, very quickly. It's quite funny as well watching a lot of American baseball fans or even professional baseball players watching cricket, and they're looking at it going, where's the glove? We don't need a glove, mate. You don't need a glove. You use one because it's easier to catch. But if you went out there and had to just catch a baseball without a glove, you'd soon get used to it. It's not a big deal, not really that heavy, not hard. Simple. When you're in the slips especially, hang on a sec. In the slips though, when someone's bowling just under 100 mile an hour and you're having to catch something within a fraction of a second, that's where the real difficulty is. And keeping all of those things, it's cray-cray. Kirsty, how are you doing? 7.26 centimetres. Are you dilated? Are you pregnant? Is that what you're trying to tell us? What? Is that what it is? 7.26 centimetres. Yeah, it's made of leather and weighs 5.5 ounces. It's another one. You get used to it though. Just catching it. The more you do it, the less it hurts because you do get used to it. Probably the same way as a boxer. The more you get punched in the face, the less it hurts. You become slightly immune to it, I would think. Even a small female hand can handle a big ball. Even two, maybe. Definitely don't throw them. Don't bounce them and don't kick them either. How is our Just? Our jousty boy? Is he alright? Mrs. Tom is on week 2 of her cold. Tell her to make sure that the Lemsip is in because I think I'm on week 3, aren't I? And mine's just got worse. Domingo is investigating the new washing machine. Has he peed on it yet? Cats don't pee on things, do they really? That's mine. Every time I think of him now, I think of Cat from Red Dwarf. Bizarrely. Janksy, what about you? You soon lose a fingernail or dislocate a finger catching a cricket ball travelling over 50 mile an hour. That's the other thing as well. Which is, again, different to... I keep on using baseball as an example. People who watch baseball don't quite understand how much more difficult cricket is. Baseball, you're throwing it directly at someone. You have got curveballs. You've got a slide or whatever else they want to call it, a fastball. With cricket, you've got someone who's normally 6 foot plus, 6'6", 6'7" sometimes, bowling from 8 foot above them at just under 100 mile an hour. You've got the seam, you've got shine on either side of the ball so it could swing one way or the other, and then it pitches into the floor, and then that can have an effect on the ball, and then it bounces back up at you. So when you see someone throwing a baseball towards a batter, yeah, now stand there and watch someone massive bowl into the floor, and then you try and deal with it bouncing up at you. It's fucking mad, man. Donald, how you doing, bud? Cats are obsessed with washing machines, are they? Just watch them go round all day, is that what it is? Is the washing machine on or just warm? That's a good question, that. We don't know. Donald wants poutine. Now you are talking. Jesus. Some heavy salad, that, man. What's poutine? It's like a moonshine and diesel cocktail. We were talking spin cycles here, we were, and then yours breaks. Right, that's Jeff. Blame Jeff. Yeah, poor Mr. Tom, full of cold and no spin cycle. New one's a Becco. For price, size and colour reasons. How many RPM? Obviously we've got to ask that because all the ladies would be interested in how many RPM your spin is. Right, so the poutine is secret. Going to go to the wine cellar, out the way where no one can see what's going on. Non-alcoholic beer. Jinx, yes, non-alcoholic beer. We can always do that in this place. So he likes the dishwasher for the warmth. Washing machine's not running, but he's just curious because it's new. Is he just standing there going, this wasn't here last week? Is that a Becco? How do you pronounce Becco? Is it Becco or Beco? Becco, isn't it? Is that what he's thinking? Or is it a BKO? Poutine is dangerous, that's what it is. I've not been near it. I wouldn't even consider going anywhere near stuff like that. I was bad enough with Jamaican rum, overproof rum, 120% proof. Fuck that, no. Hugs for cold, Kirsty. Yeah. A bucket of poutine for Donald. What? Can't have a bucket of that. You have about a thimbleful and you'd be lucky if your eyesight stays with you. It's a 9 kilo capacity, 1400 RPM. Don't think the 1600 was safe for Mrs. Tom's fillings. You have to be a very, very special kind of person to deal with 1600 RPM. Don't you, Jinxie? This cold is spreading, it is. It's getting here, there and everywhere. Don't drink brown poutine, the clear stuff is just about sippable. Did he do non-alcoholic poutine? I doubt it. Yes, the famous Peter Gabriel anthem to washing machines, Oh Beco. That's exactly what he's doing. This is new, trying to work out what he can chew and rub. Typical male, really, isn't it? Trying to work out if you're angry when you say Beco because he's, or Becco, because he's used to hearing you say Beto. Did you not know the difference? Because one is normally preceded by plenty of F's. Hot chocolate for Kirsty, that is a proper... That's what you should be drinking today, really, shouldn't you? Hot chocolate. I've had hot chocolate, haven't I? Unopened hot chocolate that's been there for about 9 months. Donald's a tribesman. There's been nothing for him. Used to it. From the city of tribesmen. Jackie loves her 1600 RPM. This is true love. Love at first spin. Dwarf bucket. Don't be going outside, you won't know where you live if you do, especially after poutine. Absolutely not. Oh me now. Thompson twins. That is part of the next video to be recorded. Believe it or not. 120 proof, 60%. The average vodka is 37.5%, so 75% proof. It was horrific stuff. It was horrific. I can still taste it. To this day, I can still taste it. And that was John Pye, fellow who used to come in the pub, brought it back from when they went to Jamaica. I brought this back for you, and me and the lad behind the bar had a couple of glasses each, and we couldn't walk for days afterwards. Mad stuff. I think the Becker was more mobile than a certain striker, more than likely. But unfortunately, it doesn't take the piss quite as much. Donald lives near Boglands, so most likely makes his own. You'd have to, wouldn't you? Alcohol-free Puccinas, potato juice on steroids. Jackie, you know plenty who drink it regularly. No, they don't. You're from Northern Ireland, they don't drink it. They put it in bottles and then set fire to it and throw it at policemen, don't they? That's what they do up there. I've read this. Surrounded by bog. As you should be. There should be more of it there. Preserve the peat bogs of Ireland, people. Not just Ireland. Have they got them in Wales as well? Did we mention this? Mandy, did this question get asked? Have they got them in Wales? Scotland? They must have, mustn't they? Sure, I've read that. Probably got them in parts of England as well somewhere. You had some absinthe at 87%. It was like drinking a wizard if you followed it with a cheeky puff on a magic dragon. You'll never forget that. I've never had absinthe, and I never will now, will I? Because I don't drink anymore. Bogs and mountains and sea. I watched this thing the other day. Some American lad who's a filmmaker. He's got a really nice channel where he does his travel stuff that he makes. Dead relaxed, beautifully filmed. And he was in Ireland. He's been to Ireland plenty of times, but normally it's just to Dublin. And one of his mates was getting married, so they decided to go to somewhere on the south coast. Is the Wormhole, is that on the south coast? That sort of square swimming hole thing that you jump off a cliff into. They went down there, and he was absolutely blown away by how beautiful the country is. And his video showing you was just stunning. Occasionally a little bit of fog over the mountains, bit of mist, green everywhere. It rained constantly apart from the last day that he was there, but he loved it. That's the way it was supposed to be. It's supposed to be like that. Makes you feel, the rain is like wearing an anorak in a bizarre kind of way. You feel comfortable, surrounded by it. They only use the dregs for petty bombs. So you know if you've made it and they start throwing it that you need to change your recipe, don't you? You don't know. I'm sure that obviously a lot of our Celtic twins, our Celtic brothers, our Celtic cousins moved between the three Celtic countries that we have, so they would have took their ways of living from each other as well, which would be allowing peat bogs to actually survive and thrive rather than doing what we do, which is normally set fire to everything. But the absinthe in Germany is they allow more wormwood in it than back when you were 18. Norfolk Broads are peat bogs filled with water. So it's left to be natural. We need more of it. Peat bogs are such fantastic carbon sinks, aren't they? Connor, how you doing, bud? Wormwood was high content wise in the old days. Van Gogh drank a lot of it. He would do. Tribesman, County Galway, Connemara. Esther, a bog. No, it's the toilet gets named after. It's sort of a wet wet soil, compacted soil that has organic material in it, which can then be used as a fuel. You let it slightly dry out, don't you, and then set fire to it. So Ireland used to be completely full of these peat bogs, which people used because it's a natural form of heating the house and what have you. Absinthe also called the green fairy. It's an odd experience to drink. It's not like other alcohol, so it's a bit like a few things, like licking a toad's back while being on the ale. Peatlands, yeah. You have a bunch of bogs there and a ton of bog bodies as well, insanely well preserved. Very, very nice. Proper history. Got to look after your history. And look after the peat bogs. As I say, they're a really good carbon sink. Much better than trees. If there was more boglands in the sort of the northern hemispheres where we are, where it's the proper, I don't know, is it the weather, I don't want to call it the breeding. I can't speak English today. What's wrong with me? Instead of having the Amazon, which is supposed to be the lungs of the earth, and they take in loads of CO2, peat bogs take in far more than that. As long as the conditions are correct. Conditions to develop them. I always wanted to go to Galway. Never been. Never been to the Republic of Ireland yet. Belfast twice. Republic of Ireland, never. And it's there. It's fucking there, man. You can almost see it. Back in the early 1900s, some of the worst jobs here was working in the peat bogs for fuel. But an honest job, isn't it, that? Like watching Father Ted. We love our Irish mates. I'm going to have to look back at my family tree at some point. We had Welsh on my dad's side, but never managed to go far enough back. But I'm sure there's Irish involved in our family as well. From Liverpool, everyone's bloody Irish, aren't we? You're way up in northwest Connemara in the corner. You're due a level up. Do you reckon, man? Do you reckon today's going to be the day? The day. You're trying to cry this one in, are you? Come on, Buttrick, you slag. Lewis is Welsh. So you could well be. It's like those, our Celtic cousins, the Welsh, Irish and Scottish, because we're all so close to each other, all moved between countries constantly. As did people from the Isle of Man. Had people from all three Celtic countries bouncing in there every 5 minutes. That's nice, I like it. At some point, we'll have to get Liverpool to be re-registered as a Celtic country in our own. Your dad's from Dundalk, so very close to Armagh. Do you see your dad's family are Welsh? They are amazing countries, man. I say this every single time, don't I? You don't need to disappear for thousands of miles to go and see somewhere nice. The UK and Ireland are some of the nicest countries on earth. Absolutely stunning. Is Mandy psychic or just crying it in, hoping that it happens? Still got to do the DNA thingy. Keep forgetting. No worries, no worries. Found a 6,000-year-old piece of gum in a peat bog here. Was able to do a full DNA of the girl that used it. Could even tell what she had for dinner before chewing it. Made a picture of her with correct looks and hair colour and everything. It's mad, isn't it? The way they can do stuff like that. I was watching something fairly similar to it on telly last week, I think it was. I think it might have been in England now, where they found an old village and they found skulls and what have you. And they remade someone's head from that as well. Plasticine. And then, because it was in a village, actually, was it England? It might not have been. So I'm trying to think now. It was one of those villages where there's been a family living there with the same surname for about the last 6 million years. And then when they made up this head, they said, is there anybody who looks like this? And some fella put his hand up and went, that looks like me, that. And when you looked into it, he was related, or his familial DNA was related. Was it spearmint? Liverpool is an honorary Irish county. It is. There's so many Irish living over here. And so many people in Liverpool with Irish surnames. There's so many people who were escaping Ireland during the famine had to come through Liverpool to start travelling around the world. Plenty stayed. You like hearing Sean anyway. Hopefully he'll be here later. Kirsty, you need to do some slidey writing. Casper, assisted did a DNA test and it said 21% Welsh, Scottish and Irish. You still need to do one. Is Dare on the jukebox? Don't know. I haven't updated for a while, have I? Pay no attention. You sent a picture of the turf fire. Where are we? Ah, yeah, there we go. There's the turf fire, our Ali's turf fire, and you nearly burning your hand videoing one-handed. Let's have a look at that. Gotta be careful doing that. Don't burn yourself. Don't burn yourself. A lot went to Liverpool in the last century for work. They did. They're everywhere. So I think a huge percentage of Scouse surnames are actually Irish. Jenksy, you're going behind the bar, are you? Love the smell of turf burning. Connor, you can go on next, mate. No worries, you can go on next. Your video skills are not great. That's not bad at all, that. It's difficult to have great video skills when you're setting fire to yourself, so don't worry about that. Scouse comes from the old Danish. Yep. Skipper Lab Scouse. Obviously, being a port, we had lots of Nordic people coming into the port with their own dishes, which we stole. Looks like machine cut turf, not hand cut, old school hand cut. Get it sorted. You get me geoguessing. Yeah, Spirit. Open it wider next time. Hang on. He'll have to move as well, won't he? He was alright earlier, he'll have to move over. Was a fine fire. Yeah, your filming's good. I know you got to be careful with stuff like that, because if you're too busy holding your phone, you're not paying attention to what's going on, and there's fire in there and things that can catch on fire in your hand. Muy dangeroso. Not everyone can have 28 tripods and fucking lights and cameras everywhere, can they? I did get a good tripod off Amazon Basics. It was only cheap, but really, really good actually. Worth every penny. The door doesn't open fully and the tiles are slightly high at the edge. You've got to be very careful. Yeah, I like that as well. She films with a wobbly hand. Gives the impression that you're not the steadiest handed shot in the Western Hemisphere. Can't be here banging headshots from 3 miles away. With the Call of Duty World at War headshot sound. Ping. You even regularly had Skipper Lobscouse at the year you did boarding school in the 10th grade. Many Danes do that for a year at least. You can't be perfect at everything. Of course not. Ping and headshots though, yeah. As long as you don't throw the phone on the fire instead of the turf, you'll be sound. Absolutely. There's always more turf. Phones are a bit more expensive to replace. How did Everton do this weekend? We did fantastic this weekend. Yeah, that's why the door was barely open. It's target practice and being used to not being seen from the highest echelons of a building somewhere. You would hear you howling from here as well. Yeah, fantastic weekend for us. We didn't play, which means we didn't get beat. For a change. No game this weekend. England played earlier on today, so when it's an international week, you don't get any Premier League or Championship games. I think there might have been a few League 2 games. I watched one yesterday. Wrexham couldn't play. Too many of their players on international duty as well. Mad, innit? Wrexham used to be non-league a couple of seasons ago. Just too many internationals. Ajax as well, unbeaten this weekend. How did Norfolk City get on? Also unbeaten this weekend. We've all done well, haven't we? This weekend. Jaffa cakes for our Ali Alio. We're down to Ipswich next weekend. We're away at Ipswich next weekend. Fulham at home the weekend after. Therefore, Alex Iwobi will score a hat-trick against us, obviously. Yeah, Norfolk City also didn't play. Dookie looks sound, doesn't he? We have another bucket of tea and cola, no ice, half a slug of lime cordial. Half a slug of lime cordial. Very nice. Very, very nice. We are playing in silly Suffolk, which means we're going to get beat, obviously, aren't we? Is the Fulham game, is that a TV game as well? A Wobie hat-trick, 3 assists from Anthony Robinson. And Marco Silva gives Dyche a wedgie. Nailed on, put your spleen on it. Low sun plus hailstones means a nightmare on the roads, Jeff. Jeff, you are a nightmare on the roads. Yep, Ipswich were out to win all season. Here come the tricky toffees, guaranteed. Anybody who's not won a game in years, first win will be against Everton. Players never scored a hat-trick in his entire life will score against Everton. Their first hat-trick, it's just guaranteed. Back in a bit, no worries, Kirsty. You got battered by the hail coming off the train yesterday. I got battered by it in the car. To the point where I have to go and park up by the front. And then when I jumped out, I thought, it's calmed down a bit now. I'll jump out and do some filming. And when I jumped out, there was an absolute ridiculous breeze coming along. Like the end of a hurricane, perhaps. You don't have to be mad to watch me, but it helps. I was once one of those signs that people have in work, you don't have to be mad to work here. It's just a coincidence, is what it should be. The Norwich City fanzine is called Then Along Came Norwich. I like that. That's very Everton as well, to be honest. Yep, Terry, you're fantastic, man. Great mouthfuls. You shouldn't be having your mouthful at the moment, you young lady. Mind, it's not a Wednesday, is it? It's a Sunday, so you're alright. You can get away with that. Pay your penance on Wednesday instead. At Fat Club. First rule of Fat Club, don't talk about Fat Club. Fanzine culture is dying a bit for us, it is. Speak from the Arbor. When skies are grey, the Black Watch. Turn, all gone. Turn didn't last that long, did it? Which is a shame because that is such a proper Everton title. Speak from the Arbor. Which comes from our Irish fans flying from Dublin Harbour to speak. Tom. Do you sell tea by the pint or gallon? Both. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Why has that been up there for so long? We are talking Everton, so the football one has to be up there. Turn was just 3 or 4 issues. It is a shame. There is nothing better. There's no sound in football that is better than about 38,000 Scousers all shouting turn at once. Turn! Very, very, very Scouse indeed. We sell it by the pint or the bucket. 5 buckets, lovely stuff. It would be a very, very good car sticker, wouldn't it? The Bears Paws car sticker. Let's see if we can make them happen. Ginger's crossed, we can make that happen. Oh, man. The best recent recorded example of a Goodison turn was for Iwobi. Yeah, that was a particularly good version, that one. Love it, love it. How many pints to a bucket? We'll have to Google that, aren't we? How many pints to a bucket? Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. With changeable toes, yeah, like a Mr. Potato Head, but a Mr. Bear's Paws with interchangeable toes. Are they toes? Where are they? How many pints are there in the bucket you drink every week? Right, it's got to get through its MOT and service this week. Battery got replaced at the start of the week. Add to that the washing machine, and you're having to sell pictures of your feet again. Very niche, but in there. Niche, by the way, not niche, niche. Horse it into you. It's a fantastic Irish phrase, isn't it? Horse it into you. Mandy, you don't drink, you just measure it. Sorry, you don't measure it, you just drink it. I think that deserves a new matron, that one, doesn't it? I don't measure it, I just stick it in my mouth. One of each would, yeah, that'd work fantastic, wouldn't it? What are the other options? The other options are, there's a cricket and a football toe. There's also a knitting ball. For whenever we talk about planes, there's a propeller and a 50-50 for the boxing. $14 bucket, 2.2 pints to a litre, say about 30 pints. That's a decent night out, isn't it? Sell videos of your cat. Sell very well. Plain wool. Are you calling them a plain wool? It's bang out of order, that, Mandy. You could have buckets in small, medium, or large. A 10 litre could be hold a urinator. We can have this. We can make this happen. 30 pints is a good night out, I reckon. Definitely getting refund requests. They aren't quite as people expected when they put that in. You don't want people getting disappointed, do you? Like when I missed out on that BBC documentary, all the songs that Lulu sang on their particular channel. When I put in Petite Redhead BBC, it wasn't quite what I expected. That came up, to be honest with you. Esther can't have too much cat spam. I don't think that's the kind of spam you'd be liking, to be honest with you. Needs to become a better scammer. Work harder, man. Scam hard. Don't think you've had 30 pints in the last 5 years. Only pause, yeah. Horace and Kippers could do guest appearances. It's very, very niche. Very niche. I mean, you want to shout? Put your hands up and shout. Come on now. But I've only paused. It could happen. If we drank 30 pints today, you'd find you in a large puddle of piss. Or Ipswich, as it's known. As a youngster, you'd do at least a case each at 24, 330 mils, 7.92 litres, 16.74 pints. That was just beer, though. Poor Horace being exploited. Yeah. Casper, you'd be dead then and now. I wouldn't back then. Being brought up in a pub. You can easily go through 20 pints a night, but I don't think I could physically do that now. Never mind the alcohol side of things. But considering how big me cups of tea are, maybe I'm back on it. I'm back on the fill your stomach with liquid and see how many times you can go piss in one day. Alice in Chunderland. Hang on. Right. I was going to say it is Sunday. It is Sunday, so there will be stuff coming from the Only Pause faithful. But Steve and Helen have been out and about. Would you like to see? Would you like to see where they've been? Mandy, do not miss this. Do not miss this. I think it's about time, isn't it?
Hello, this is your Norfolk correspondent, and we're at a special place today for one of our usual regulars. And I'm gonna see where we're at. Lovely little river.
Part of the Broads.
Yeah, the National Broads, and here we are at Horsey. So we're back at Horsey Wind Pump. So it's in the village of Horsey in Norfolk, and it's a wind pump, not a windmill. And this is all for Mandy. Whee! Horsey Wind Pump, especially for Mandy on an October day. Lovely.
Tea room time.
Tea rooms, they're calling. What are you staring at, girls?
So there we have it. Horsey wind pump, especially for Mandy. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Helen. Ruby Tomb. That's fantastic. It's not mythical anymore. We've actually seen it now. It exists. Isn't that superb? And yeah, it looks very, very Dutch. Caspi saying it looks a bit like Denmark's southwest as well. It's flat and it's got what looks like a windmill. Very Dutch. It's obviously a wind pump, not a windmill, but isn't that superb? How beautiful. Love it. Absolutely love it. So thank you for that. Ruby chasing the sheep, or just sat off thinking, there's food over there. There's cups of tea and food over there. Go and buy food. Bring some back here for me. I'm not chasing sheep when you can go over there and buy it for me instead. Yeah, it's lovely stuff, isn't it? It looks, for everything you send from Norfolk makes it look even better each time. It's gorgeous, gorgeous place. I know my family used to swear about going to the Broads, saying it's one of the nicest places. It was me. Would it be my dad's? Well, not his uncle, but the fella married to his auntie. If it's, uncle by marriage, he used to go there all the time, and then they'd occasionally just drag people, 20 or 30 people from the family would end up going down there at once. Absolutely love it. So now I'm very jealous. It looks lovely. Mandy's happy now. We thought you would be. Yeah, so thank you very much, Steve Allen, making our Mandy happy. It actually exists. It's not just a name anymore. It actually exists. That's what it looks like. Yeah, we're going to need far more videos, if only to have the Steve the Builderman intro more often. That is a banger of a tune, that, isn't it? Let's face it. It is a banger of a tune, man. Dan, how you doing, bud? How's things? You okay, man? Is there a difference between the Fens and the Broads? Will the Broads be more liquidy than the Fens? You knew it existed. We knew it existed, but it doesn't just exist anymore. It's there. It's there. Speaking of which,
it's going up. 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 It's there.
It's there. The same as Horsey wind pump, and Horsey, not horsey. But Mandy, you can still call it horsey if you want, because it still sounds funny, doesn't it? But it's gorgeous. What a gorgeous place. I think we need to make more of places like that, because there are plenty of them in the country. Proper old school wind pumps, windmills, and things that were made back in the day when it was difficult to make them. Not as easy as just turning up there now with breeze blocks and iron girders and what have you. They had to make those things out of brick, which is possibly why they're still there after all these years. But it is lovely. That reminds me, actually, completely different, but I'll have to show you the Roundhouse in Southport, which is opposite Royal Birkdale Golf Course. I think it was Coca-Cola or Pepsi, I can't remember which one it was, offered back in 1991ish, offered £1 million for the owners to paint the Roundhouse like a Coke can or a Pepsi can. And they said, no, we don't need the money. We don't want to ruin the house. We'll put it back to the way it was. No. Imagine being able to turn down £1 million back in 1991 just for painting the outside of your house and put it back to the way it was. No, not cheapening the area, but it is lovely. It's a gorgeous looking house as well. Level 3. Yep, smashing it, lid, smashing it. Breeze blocks and iron girders. They don't make modern builds easy. Steve does. Exactly. And then if you need to make a circular, a round house, a windmill, a wind pump, just get the girder, makes it into a circle by hand. There you go, Mandy, a bit of horsey. But isn't it lovely? Do you know what I really do? I love the way our country looks. Our countries, not just our country. Mentioned before, Wales, Ireland and Scotland are lovely, but so's England. No one ever thinks about it, but yeah. Get out of the cities and start going to the likes of Horsey or, where else? I mean, where we are up north, or where Louise is, around there, around Pendle Hills, all these little towns, Holmforth, Hebden Bridge in Yorkshire, all these little places that look stunning, but are miles away from the big cities. We're not just London, Birmingham, Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle. There's so much more to it than that. In the same way that Wales isn't just Cardiff or Swansea. There's loads of really nice places just out of the way, middle of nowhere. You open your back curtains and all of a sudden there's a waterfall there and mountains in the background. Ireland's the same, isn't it? It's not just Dublin or Belfast. Both parts of Ireland. 10 minutes outside in a car and you're in the middle of absolute paradise. Right, your great-grandfather was from the southwest of Denmark, so it's like the Netherlands or the southeast of England. An old windmill for your grandmother's hometown was taken down brick by brick and rebuilt in Elkhorn, a Danish town in Iowa. I've seen a few places in the States that have got huge huge Danish populations, and they make the place look like it's part of Denmark. So they have all the Danish traditions and speak Danish there as well. Isn't that lovely? Roundhouse, no corners to clean, but hanging pics is tricky. And there are pictures of the inside of that place. It is stunning, absolutely stunning. Jackie, how's your fare, baby? Oh, I say. Copenhagen has a fine round tower. Casper. Ali, George and Missy lying sleeping. Charlie, the cat, she's out being a dirty stop out. Takes after you then, does she? Me had a wobble there. The Dutch drain the fens of water. If you need anyone to deal with water, go and find the Dutch. They know what they're talking about. Charlie out gallivanting. Minnesota is basically American Scandinavian. There's a place, isn't there, must be California. Because there was an episode of Wheel of Dealers when you were in California where they did a car and they went to a place nearby where they were. And it just looked, to all intents and purposes, as though it was in the middle of bloody Denmark. But it wasn't, it was in California, so it's red hot. But the houses all looked old school Danish.
Piggly Ding. Next.
Piggly Ding next, Connor. You're behind the bar now, mate. We want cat spam. That's cats being spammed, not spam made out of cats. She's a wee devil. Very Irish and also a very Scouse word. A devil. Not a devil, a devil. And I was talking to my dad about this last night where we were watching the boxing between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. It's a shame Dmitry Bivol wasn't Irish because that would be a great boxing name, wouldn't it? Dmitry the Devil Bivol, which I think would work perfectly well. It's a pretty cool tower from 1642. The one in Solvang, California, has a pizzeria in it. Is Solvang, is that the place I'm thinking of? Is that where they went to? Do I have the picture of Charlie? I do, don't I? You sent it earlier. Somewhere. Hang on. Hang on, where we are. My phone's going a bit mad. There's Charlie out on the prowl. She's up to no good. You thought Charlie is in Charles. Not Charlie as in, was it Perfume Charlie? Rose from the Golden Girls is from St. Olaf, which is Minnesota as well, but you think it's just made up. And even if it is made up, it's deliberately done in a place where it sounds like it could be legitimate. So, more than likely though. America's full of places with names from other places, because it is an entire country made up of immigration. So there'll be loads of places that are named after and built on the same sort of, I don't know, backgrounds of where the people came from in the first place. Which is why you've got New England, and so many places in New England are named after places in Old England. And it wasn't just us that went there. Again, which is why you've end up with places like bloody Bismarck. There's Germans there, the Scandinavians, everywhere. Everyone went over there, didn't he? Which can make it a bit weird when you look at somebody. I'm watching programmes, someone moved from Boston to Birmingham to Palestine. What the fucking kind of move is that? And they're all within the same bloody place. Solvang, California is a famous Danish heritage city. That might be. I'm thinking if it's Solvang, that might be the place that Wheeler Dealers went to. And it looks, if it wasn't for the sun, you'd think this is genuine. This is in Denmark. I know it gets sunny in Denmark as well, but not like California's sun. You don't get that, do you? Garrison Keillor does wonderful audio and writing on Scandinavians in and around Minnesota, Lake Wobegon, and the Lutherans and Lutefisk. I didn't know that. I'll have to try that out. Sounds a bit rude for you. Can't be having that. Wobegon as in woe begone. That'll be where it's from, won't it? As in woe betide the boy. Alex a woebegone. We said that when he left. There's a place in America called Hitler. Yep, there is. There was also at some point, I think there was 8 Adolf Hitlers in the UK on the actual electoral register. And I think there was about 15 people called Satan. What is going on? Where's all the John Smiths? Why is there loads of Hitlers everywhere? Although I suppose if that was your name, you'd get out of Germany fairly quickly, wouldn't you? At a certain point, you'd get out of Germany fairly quickly. It must be an imaginary place. Oh, don't say it's an imaginary place. Woebegone sounds fantastic. I wouldn't mind living there. He's got a lovely voice and tells tall tales about the fictitious residents. Thank God for tenor lady. Much needed, especially at your age. Still can't quite fathom why we ever signed Iwobi. Strange, but he ended up playing his way into the team and always gave 100%, even if 100% wasn't fantastic. When other people went missing, he was at least having a go, so I don't mind that. And we made a bit of money, kept us going towards the end, I suppose, didn't we? The sister-in-law was from Dublin. He stayed in Liverpool, didn't he? Did our Dolph? Didn't he work at the Adelphi? Which is why they never bombed it. I'm sure that's why they never bombed it in the war, did they? I am not bombing that place. It is fucking excellent. Mother's grandmother was the only of her 11 siblings that stayed in Denmark. The rest immigrated to the Toronto, London area of Canada. Grandmother always said she had an uncle that was a Mountie. He will always get his man. 8 Hitlers and 6 Satans on the electoral register. And yes, on the season ticket waiting list for the tin mine. You think they'd be in there straight away, wouldn't you? We'll have them. I'm not far behind you. What? I'm only young. I'm youthful. I'm not. The capital of Wyoming is Casper. Spelled wrong though. Incorrectly. Ghost Lake. Clench and squeeze, clench and squeeze. Think about it, mate. There's some big crime in Casper, or was it Jasper? Slightly confused. Great grandmother was the youngest, so she stayed at home nursing her mother who was ill. Everyone else disappeared. But it is also nice just staying in the country that you come from as well, or the town that you come from. Not everyone has to disappear. He says, at the age of 51, only ever living in the city of Liverpool for 2 years, I think it is. Beyond that, we've lived elsewhere. Bizarrely. It must have been 2 years. May 85 until... Yeah. 85 to 87. About 2 years. Apart from that, never lived in Liverpool. Even Hale Wood, when we were there for 4.5 years, is actually in Knowsley, not Liverpool. Isn't that strange? Why do you talk the way you do, lad? Just because. That's why. All of your great grandmother's living siblings had 3 names. What? You could be on the Casper Council. The Casper Council. Casper. Where's Jeff tonight? Let's go and have a look. Hang on. There we go. On the lookout for that mini moon comet. You're not going to see anything with them. What have you done with your binoculars, you absolute blurt? Trying to find tips online to get to see it? Are you sure you're not watching Barry Orn there? Look at the state of his eyes. As soon as I turn my bastard and back, the sky is ablaze. He's not happy there, is he? He is definitely not happy with that. Remind me. Press something off once you pressed it on. Sake. The fa 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 fa, the FA song. They can fa 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 as well, the FA. Coming over here, causing kerfuffles. We have to call it the fa 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 song because apparently you can't say those bleedy words, can you? You haven't seen such a wretched, evil blue face since you caught a glimpse of yourself in the bathroom mirror this morning. Oh. He's got a certain look, Jeff, though. He's got a certain look about him. The sky looked good the other night with the northern lights. They did look fantastic the other night. Press something off after you've pressed it on. I do. Normally I do. Otherwise, as soon as you go back to that other scene, it pops up again. Unless you've got it on a loop, at which point it'll just keep on playing and playing and playing. We don't do that for that specific reason. Don't mind more gorilla boogie. I can't fucking speak today. What's wrong with me? Saw some here as well, Tomash. Saw some here as well. There was quite a bit of it in the back garden. Well, not in the back garden. It was in the sky above the back garden. But yeah, it looked lovely. It was amazing there as well in Denmark. Reminds you of getting out of bed in the morning. Do you actually sleep in a bed anymore, Jackie, or just fall asleep on the sofa and wake up and think, right, sorry, go on? You said remind me. I know. You start twitching every time you hear the gorilla music. It's because it's Boss Man. It's fantastic tunage. It was lovely. My dad's got a new phone that he got last week or the week before. And then on the way back on Thursday night from the pub, I said to him, just hold your phone up to the sky and just take a picture. There's nothing there. I know, just take a picture. But there's nothing there, just take a fucking picture. Think, actually that looks lovely, I told you. Just because you can't see it with your naked eye doesn't mean it's not there. And if you stand outside for long enough, your eyes adjust to it and then you can see it with the naked eye. Any pictures? Yes. I did do some pickies the other day, didn't I? Somewhere. Like that one, that's from the back garden, which makes it look like the tree's on fire, but it isn't. That's the Northern Lights. But apparently, according to my sister, who is further down the rabbit hole than Kirsty, it's not the Northern Lights, it's HARP. They're just lying to you. It's fucking not. It's a solar flare exciting the chemicals within the atmosphere. Most of it bounces off the magnetosphere into the darkness of space. Some of it goes down the magnetic lines to either pole, north or south, where you get the aurora borealis in the north or the aurora australis in the south, at which point that excites the chemicals. Each chemical that you see is excited in a different colour, and the reds, the greens, the blues, etc. are different chemicals in the atmosphere. No, it's HARP. It's not fucking HARP. Disappointing lack of pictures on your social media feeds. Harumph. Can I get a harumph? I did put some up, I think. But mainly mine goes on Instagram for stuff like that. It's the tree's aura. It could be. It might have had its chakra realigned. The sun has an 11-year cycle of intensity and it's high in its solar flares at the moment. It is. And thankfully we have a magnetic polar centre. The spinning ball of iron gives us a magnificent magnetic surrounding bits, which stops us from having our atmosphere blown away by the solar storms, which other planets have had done, at which point their planets cease to have any kind of atmosphere. No rain, no water, no oxygen, nothing. Nothing could actually be there anymore. Visible there too. Didn't know it was over until I didn't know until it was over. But you sure saw loads of pics on Facebook. You can get an app for the phone called Aurora Watch, which will give you a warning when it's going to be particularly likely to see aurora. Well worth. But a Balooey Sum, fantastic that, great tune. You saw that theory, if there's lines it's aurora, no lines it's harp. Crazy, aren't they? You must look for your colours next time you get excited. Yours will be black like your heart, Jackie. And the line's called Steve's, they may well be. Right, you said the Lieutenant of Inishmore at the theatre yesterday about a fella too mad for the provisional rascals and his cat. What is harp? Is it a conspiracy thing? It is. This is where the lunatics around the world think that the governments are creating havoc. They're controlling the weather. There's aliens on here all the time doing stuff and we're hiding it from them. It's fucking mental, know what I mean? It is controlled by Joe Biden. Casper. My sister's getting too deep into the conspiracy things. She believes in thingios. What did he fucking call them? Chemtrails and things. And then trying to explain to her, why would anybody put chemicals on a plane and then drop it into the jet stream in the hope that they would normally just trickle down onto us? Drop chemicals above us in the UK, you could end up in Moscow before they reach the floor. But it's to control you. Why not put it in the water supply then, knowing that everyone has a cup of tea or a glass of juice or has a shower, a bath, brushes their teeth? If you want to get stuff into people, put it in the water supply, not in chemicals above the jet stream where you can't guarantee where it's going to land. Oh no, you just believe their lies. Fuck's sake, no. I don't believe their lies at all. I'm just intelligent and I'm not fucking stupid. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean other people don't. Can't even pain in your side. Have you been playing rugby again? Is that where that's come from? Trump said on Truth Social that the hurricane was caused by a weather bomb to destroy Florida because he is away with it. Absolutely away with it. They all are, aren't they? Marjorie Taylor Greene and all them lot. They can control the weather. They can't. What they can do, you can do cloud seeding. That's a thing. You can do that. You can't control the weather. You can't create a hurricane. Hurricanes are caused by the Coriolis effect. So most of your hurricanes will start off the coast of Africa, and then does just start off as a little bit of a storm, and then because they're going over the Atlantic towards Cuba and places like that, and the Coriolis effect, the spin of the Earth, means that they still start rotating. And then once they reach the Gulf of Mexico, which is warm, wet, that's where they drag the power from. Then they hit landfall in the States. Well, Cuba sometimes, West Indies sometimes, but normally they'll make landfall in the States, cause all kinds of damage, and then the little tiny bit that's left finds its way over towards us because it heads towards the north and spins towards where we are, so we get windy weather for about a week afterwards. Simple. Nah, mate, they're controlling it. There's someone in a van, mate. I tell you, there's someone in a van, mate, in Alabama. Just sat there, lad, and he's pressing buttons like you are with your Stream Deck, and it's fucking causing girder all over the States, mate. What? The cosmic scousers will tell you that. Lad, I'm telling you. 5G, mate. When did you work this one out? I was after me 5th bag of Rocky the other day, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, learned about cloud seed and then got paranoid, and then that's where you're at. Trump nuts are behind the bar. Trump's nuts are nowhere near as good as Jeff's, and as if to prove a point. You're not beating them, are you? As Jeff is up his lip up fatty by Bob Matters comes on. Conspiracy theorists do not grasp simple science, and when you explain it to them, they'll then start jumping through hoops to try and explain where you're wrong. Do you want to make you think you're not thick? That's part of the psyop. It is mad, it really is. And you can do experiments to show people that they're wrong, but they just will not take any notice. Apparently the sun is about the size of a transit van or something, as is the moon. And then they travel around in this bizarre orbit all around this flat earth, inside the dome, not outside. For fuck's sake, man. You can look up with your naked eye and see the International Space Station, which is the size of a football pitch. And it's however many miles, 100 miles up in the air. You can still see it with the eye. How come we can't see Mount Everest, which is 29,000 feet in the air? How come we can't see it from everywhere on the earth? Well, what it is, mate, is what it is. Go on, start to make stuff up in the back of your mind. Lad, what it is. Stay off the smoke, lad. You could have pulled something of footy yesterday. Easily done. That kind of movement, rotational movement, you always do playing footy. Be careful. If it carries on, hot baths, hot showers if you can, gentle stretches, be careful though. Flat earthers are some of the worst, they are. And it's funny when you watch them and you can see that in the back of their mind, they're losing the argument completely, they've got nothing left. All you come out with is, you're part of the machine, you're part of the system. You want to believe their lies. No. Why is it everything we can see? You can look up now and get yourself a telescope and look up. Everything you see in the atmosphere, in the sky, everything up there is round. Why do you think we're different? We're the only thing that's different. Knobbers. A Fanta and some Pringles. I'll have to move them as well, won't I? Move them back slightly. Everything's been moved and nothing's been changed. Man. If the earth's flat, what do you fall off onto? Also, if it was flat and we have planes that can go all the way around the world, why can't we see the ice shelf? And how did I manage to go from Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam on this side of the globe over the North Pole and then down the east coast of the United States to Los Angeles? How could that happen? Why didn't it take 7 days to fly all the way across this mad, whatever thing it is, this flat earth? How? You didn't. What happens is, inside the plane, the windows that you think are windows that you can see out of are not actually windows. They're TV screens. Even back in 1988, there were TV screens, and you used to be fed the lies, man. Bellends. Don't let you pull the muscle because of a fart, so it's easily done. Very, very careful. If you're doing that, do not move to Mexico. Yeah, Flat Earth. The Flat Earth Society actually states on its website it's got members all around the globe. Mad, aren't they? More CSN. Now, we don't want any of those American news companies on. Oh, you mean Crosby, Stills and Nash? No Young, no. Mandy will tell you about the turtle. Turtley. It does. It's on the website, isn't it? Members all around the globe. As if the person who's done it has gone, these thick fuckers won't even realise what I've done here. Don't forget the 4 elephants. Is that of the apocalypse? The whale's gone mad. The whale has gone mad. It is a Sunday though, isn't it?
But Kipper's Vindaloo can't be good for you.
BBC weather app predicts hurricane force winds in London and 400 degrees Celsius in Nottingham after glitch. The BBC has apologised to users after its weather app mistakenly showed forecasts for hurricane force winds near London and temperatures over 400 degrees Celsius in Nottingham. Oops, don't be alarmed by some of our weather app data this morning, lead BBC weather presenter and meteorologist Simon King wrote on X. Be assured there won't be 14,408 mile an hour winds, hurricane force winds or overnight temperatures of 404 Celsius. It's being looked at and hopefully sorted ASAP. Who would be thinking it's 400 degrees Celsius in Nottingham? Really? This is why we have to start doing this, because there's people stupid enough to look and go, oh my God, it's going to be 400 degrees Celsius tomorrow. What are we going to do? Put the washing out. It'll dry quick. Fucking half-wits, man. Yeah, according to some people, the world's going to end every other week. There was a goalkeeper, an Argentine goalkeeper who played for a Spanish team. I can't remember his name now. Hang on. He played for a Spanish Premier League team.
Next.
And he was convinced that in 2000 the world was going to end. So he stopped playing months beforehand to prepare himself for the rapture. And it never happened, obviously. So then it's like, you said it was going to end and I stopped playing football. What do I do next? Nobody wanted to sign him after that. Well, keepers are weird, like they're a bit weird, but they're not that fucking weird. You shouldn't be believing shit like that, should you? Well, it said in this Bible I've got. It also said there's talking snakes. Whale's gone mad. The whale's gone mad. You will be back. 2012 it was, sorry, it was 2012, not, it It was the Mayan calendar, wasn't it? It wasn't 2000, it was 2012. I remember the goalkeeper's name at some point. And then it's going to happen at some point. Well, yeah, it will happen at some point. But if you say that every year it's going to end, at one point you will be correct. Nostradamus got loads right. Any one of us could sit here and come up with like 20,000 ideas of things that will happen in the future. You will get a couple of them right at least. Doesn't mean you can predict anything. Wind speeds are 1,274 miles per hour, or as it's known, in Norfolk, it's a bit breezy today, isn't it? It's a bit breezy. Don't wear your hat. Yep. Your weather app gets it wrong when they predict it will be dry. Nobody in Ireland will ever believe it was going to be dry anyway. Middle of summer, hottest summer since records began. It's going to rain today at some point. I know it is. I just know it is. David Icke. Oh, man. Don't believe anyone who tells you they are the Son of God. You need to listen to me. By the way, I am the Son of God. You lost me at that. Mandy yours says, ignore this weather report, it's wrong. No change. Again, North Wales is the bloody same, isn't it? I'll look out the window. Is there a ship going past the back garden? If there is, it's been raining quite a bit. Collecting your watching a few hundred miles away. In that, you'd be collecting it in a few planets away, wouldn't you? Nostradamus predicted Ipswich 1, Everton 0. You got a few things right, to be honest. I could post it back. I'll send it back to you. We have got to beat the tractor boys. We're going to have to. Where did it all change for David Icke? I think it was when he got divorced from Tina Turner. After that, he went just downhill fast, didn't he? Apparently global warming has happened, but it's getting colder in Ireland. It is. I think people mistake the globe for where they live as well. I've seen loads of people doing that on the internet. You say the globe's getting warmer. It is. The earth as a whole is getting warmer. Where you are is getting colder. The unfortunate problem is the ice caps are getting warmer and they're melting, which means that where you live will end up underwater. The people in like Florida, of all places, a place where it's already swampland, it's Everglades, you do not want the water to start rising any higher because there'll be nowhere to live at that point. It'll just be crocodiles everywhere. It's not affecting me. You know, give it 10 years, it might start affecting you where you live is not on the map anymore. Cray, man. It is Bill Hicks, isn't it? Yeah. Why do people think they're the son of God and not the son of Buddha? Especially when you look more like Buddha. Change a couple of letters on the belt buckle. Absolutely. It's definitely cold now. It's chilly in the evenings. We are halfway through October now, to be fair. To be fair. We are all made of stars. Cracks you up when they say life on Earth started from space. Everything started from space. It did. Everything we see was part of a supernova which exploded. An exploding star, as our sun will at some point. And all the material that's in there will be spewed out into space, will coalesce, and will become something else. We are made of stardust. I think when they're saying that life came from space, what they mean by that one is, once the Earth got up to what we would recognise as being the Earth as it is now, with liquid water, stromatolites in that water that were creating bubbling oxygen, which gave us the atmosphere that we can live in. We then had stuff coming from outer space that had bacteria on it, which then developed into single cell life to multiple cell life to complex life that we are now. It is mad though, isn't it? It is mad. He did used to knock Tina about. So, F him, sky high. Star Monkey or Jesus? Is this like Shag, Marry and Avoid? Star Monkey or Jesus? Say a little slower, it might sound like Brian Cox. I need to have a light behind my head, don't I? I'm looking up into the atmosphere. Up here, look. Something come down from here. We are stardust. We are golden. What is that tune? I can't remember. I know that song, it's in my head now, and I can't think what it is. What tune is that, Esther? We are stardust. We are golden. It's pissing me off, that now. Joni Mitchell. I could hear it in my head, I just couldn't get it right. Sang by many, yeah. I can't remember the one there's a famous one that was... Yeah, it's a famous one that was done, I can't remember what it was. The Goldilocks theory. We are in the Goldilocks zone. If we were too close, it would be too hot. Our atmosphere would be burned away. If we're too far away, too far outwards, it'd be too cold. And also, if we were any smaller, we wouldn't have the magnetic magnetosphere that we have to protect us from solar flares. If we were any bigger, the gravity would be too big and too heavy and stuff like that. We are literally perfect as we are for complex human life. There's no guarantee that there's not other places within our universe that has at least basic life, maybe even complex life. Possibly not as complex as human, but you never know. The United States of Wardrobes has been stickerified, so it looks a little bit more wood. A little bit more wood. Joni Mitchell was a great advocate for car parks. Paving paradise and putting up a parking lot. Because you can't park in paradise, can you? You can pull off into paradise. If you watch Phoenix Nights, of course. God made the earth perfect. Oh. Can't have done because he put so many fuckwits on it. Plus 7 days, Steve will tell you, you don't do a job in 7 days, do you? Come on. Not unless it's a really quick rush job, get in there, piss about with it, get out, cash the cheque and disappear down the road. 7 days for something like this. No wonder it's knackered. What happened to the snagging list? What about all that? Where was the testing phase? None of it. It's called Woodstock and you know from CSN, right? Definitely not a proper job. Either do it right or do it shite. It'd take more than 7 days to do something this size. Six days, he had Sunday off as well. That's absolute bollocks as well, isn't it? Because Sunday you could have charged extra for working on a Sunday. Yeah, you can't park around there, never mind paradise. You can if you got a blue badge. Tend to get away with absolute girder with a blue badge. I'm waiting for my first parking ticket with the blue badge on. Just to see how far I can take things. astrophysics always fascinated you. Keep reading and learning about the subject. There's got to be plenty of life out there just because of the numbers. It's a numbers game, this. Statistically, there are trillions upon trillions and trillions of stars. Around those trillions of stars, there'll be countless trillions of planets. There's got to be other ones that are in a Goldilocks zone for any kind of life. There's got to be ones that are in the same kind of zone as we are for potentially human life. Water is in abundance. A lot of the meteors and comets that you see are made entirely of ice, which has got water in it. All life that we know needs water, so if that's out there, all it needs to do is to land on a moon, onto a planet, and melt, and that water is then there. Human life, off you go. It's marvellous, I like it. I like all that. The Planet, BBC, I've got loads of documentaries that are still on there on the iPlayer, which I like to put on overnight if I'm struggling to sleep. Just throw a Brian Cox Wonders of the Universe or something, put it on in the background, just listen to him talk and fall asleep with that on, and then wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning dying for a piss, and it's still going on. And he's still got the light behind him with his gorgeous hair. Yeah. At least 2 of Jupiter's moons have got some kind of organism lurking beneath the ice. They've actually got liquid water beneath, like hundreds and hundreds of miles of solid ice. Beneath there, there's liquid water. Is it Io, one of them? Do you reckon that's got a really good chance of having some kind of complex-ish, fairly complex life on there? Horace has almost got it. Here you go. It's a bit Brian Coxish, that, isn't it? Wonders of the solar system. Speaking of Horace. What the fuck, lube? Not happy with him being behind me now. Night, Esther, night. We packaged, didn't eat properly. Go and get fed. How are things with me, Ali? I am doing marvellous. I'm full of a cold. I'm not doing marvellous at all, but, you know. And I keep getting cramp in my stroke legs during the night, so I'm not sleeping well. Which is shite. Europa and Io have got some kind of... They should have. Definitely could have some sort of life. And I think both of them... They've got a lot of geothermally activity, which is caused by the sheer amount of gravity which is thrown at them, so they're constantly getting squished and squashed and dragged apart, which keeps everything moving within the planets, within the moons rather. I think, is it Europa's bigger than Mercury, is it? It's a fucking big moon, like. But all that keeps the water liquid beneath the frozen crust. It's mad. The BBC iPlayer has a documentary all about the last family making real katanas in Japan. There's no commentary, just subtitles. Shows them making a sword, start to finish. Oh, I'm going to have to watch that. That sounds fantastic. I love stuff like that. There was a great documentary film about making sake, which was a similar kind of thing. Very, very artistic how it was made, but stunning. Mandy, get on your goo. Why is it the last family? Is it the last family that know how to do it properly? Yeah, sounds so wrong, but it feels so right. I've got a couple of goos in there as well. Oh, and by the way, there's a couple of new flavours. Speculoos, which is a Belgian biscuit. Belgian biscuit. Which is stunning. Speculoos goo. Man, so tasty. If you like Biscoff, you like Speculoos. Similar kind of thing. Is it a dying trade? Making swords would always be a dying trade, wouldn't it? Literally. But it must be being able to make things, make anything in the old school tradition, must just be. It's going to be a finite thing. As more and more of these kids are growing up, I don't want to do that. I'd rather go and move to, I don't know, if they're over there, I want to go and move to Tokyo and work in an office. I want to be a YouTuber instead. Make a shitload of money. How about traditions? How about the money instead? Marvellous. We can't allow these things to go completely. It's got to be passed down. Once it's lost, man. Never had goo. You're going to try some soon. You're going to have to. It's fantastic stuff. And we should be really on this. We should be sponsored by goo. Goo and Thermos. This stream is brought to you by Thermos, despite the fact they're not sending me anything. Bastards. The last family business, making them the old-fashioned way. Some traditions cannot be restarted once they're gone. We've got to keep these things going. I'll have to check that one out, I think. Definitely have to check that one out. You watched a bloke making a cricket ball for details. Still couldn't work out what stitch to use to embroider it. And that's 15 minutes of your life you won't get back. It's interesting though. A bit of budumtst. I'm here all week. Been watching Forge in Fire. Gorgeous women. Goo's not a yoghurt. Ms. Ali Bennett. It's not. It's a pudding. It's a dessert, but it's not a yoghurt. There's more. Speaking of which, yes, there's more substance to it than that. And also, I do have pictures that I should have put up tonight, showing you how you can dip things in. Yep, the sound of a drum kit after a bad joke. If you watch any old 50s, 40s, 50s comedians back in the day, after some really shite joke, they'd have to show the crowd that this is where you laugh by going, "Brunts." This is your cue to laugh, folks. But it's not funny. Shut up, brunts. Thick mousse. I don't even think some of them aren't even thick mousse, are they? There's a little, not a crust. There's a slightly denser layer on top that you have to dig through, and then slightly more. Yeah, it might be some moussey kind of stuff, but oh man, they are fit. They are fit. I can't remember which ones I've got. I think I've got some Spanish lemon. I've got some of them. Yeah, similar kind of consistency to a cheesecake. That kind of stuff. You can dip things in them, as Mandy has proved, which I still haven't put up on the screen, but I will do. I will. And that needs to be changed as well. I will have to text my daughter and ask what time she is in work tomorrow. Oh, I think she's got 2 days off this week. I think. There you go. Message sent. Oh.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
Steve, 27. That's 2. We've had 2. Can we get a hat-trick? Ali, you're not a goo person. What? It's gorgeous, man. What are we covering in goo? Your tongue, man. It's gorgeous stuff. Forgot you again, no surprise. Bottom of the to-do list as always. It's not. It's on my phone, and it shouldn't be on my phone. It should be on the email, shouldn't it? But then I need to put it in a format to show it on the screen. Remind me later. Who was the other one? Donald was earlier on as well. Level 3, which I think is possibly why it's going R for level 27. Where are we on the lists? Steve and Kirsty are both on 27 now. Ali on 33, Mandy on 36. Jinxie is now up to 23. We're doing well. We are doing some spectacular stuff. Goo is lush. It is. It's fantastic. I'm going to have a goo when we finish. Even though we had Chinese earlier. Sod it, Sunday, isn't it? Treat yourself, why not? Treat yourself. Wasn't you? Are you complaining about not being promoted tonight, or are you singing shaggy songs? Wouldn't we? Bot doesn't hate you, but you're out in front by an absolute distance. You're covering your lips in goo. Sorry, you're going to have that. What is it? If you do go on like an old woman if you're led. You've got ganache goo and bourbons, bourbon biscuits to dunk. Oh, nice. That latest slidey writing sounds very, very handy for Everton fans there, doesn't it? Dorian for clean, updated person horror questions, either offering coaching correctly survive Suffolk. We're there next week, so if you can correctly survive Suffolk, I'll be happy. No flaggy claps. Bourbons have shrunk too. Everything's shrinking. And it's not like your fingers are suddenly massive, the size of King Charles's or something, is it? Just shrinkflation is happening, man. Shrinkflation is happening. It's here. We can see it. It's happening now. Just bang out of order. Too cold for claggy flaps. There's very little clag in the air these days, isn't there? Is that swinger code? Could be, actually. If you put that onto a sign, obviously you have to laminate it first. But if you put that on a sign, I reckon you'd get bare people watching. Literally bare people watching, fam. Pay more for less. Shrinkflation in action. It's horrible. And all those years then saying, well, it's because your hands have got bigger and the chocolate bars are just the same size. Your hands are bigger. Nah, mate. I was this big when I was 14 and those chocolate bars used to look a lot bigger than they do now. If something looks smaller because of the size of my hands, I think I know about it. That's all I'm saying. Bourbons to dunk. It does sound a bit dogging-y, doesn't it? It's a nice cuppa. The only thing that keeps growing is your ears, not your hands. The ears constantly keep growing, which is why our fellas always look like the big friendly giant, don't they? The BFG. Well, what time are we on? The BFG, which of course in the Netherlands is the GVR. Grote Vriendelijke Reus. Shrunken bourbons, pale imitation pink wafers, car park at 10. That would gain a lot of attraction, that I think. Crisp packets have got smaller but still increase the price. A lot of the crisp packets have got bigger, but the amount that's in there has still got smaller. So what's the point? All you're buying then is just extra nitrogen. We don't need more nitrogen. But is it 90% of the atmosphere is made of nitrogen, so why do we need any more of it? They think we're daft. Man, he's a pro. Faux show. Come on, Jess. I need to know what time I'm up in the morning. Pain in the arse. We need more crisps in the packets, not more air. It's not even air, it's nitrogen that they put in there to make them last longer. But it is mad, isn't it? Definitely feel the effects of shrinkflation over there. Is it cold? Is that what it is? Crisps are thicker, so less crisps in a packet because they're measured by weight. It's all bollocks though, isn't it? Just give us a bag full of the bleeding stuff. More food, more of it. I don't know why I'm feeling hungry. I had massive Chinese earlier. Maybe that's why, because obviously with Chinese food, 20 minutes after you eat and you feel hungry again, don't you? But it was Singapore fried rice, so there was loads in it, like. Don't forget to bring the potatoes. Skins on or skins off. Spend twice as much on food each month compared to 2 years ago. I honestly didn't notice how much things had got more expensive until recently. Because my shopping was always fairly expensive. And I went, last week I think I went, and I bought what I thought was just a handful of bits. Not even one bag full. And it was 30 odd quid. Well, that was not normally that much. That was normally between 15 and 20 quid, not 30 odd, not getting towards 40 quid. Almost doubled how much things were. And when I got back and had a look, things that I thought were about a quid and a half are now 3 quid. How? How's everything doubled? I have the potatoes now. Potatoes everywhere. Everywhere you look in this room there are potatoes. They are nice though. Has to be said, they are nice. Well made. beautifully designed, beautifully appointed. Although I'm slightly worried about them now because Horace and his lube. Worrying me. He is worrying me. Oh, better taxis. This window's been open all night, hasn't it? Doesn't feel cold. It's saying it's 8 degrees, but it's raining, so it'll be cloudy. I'm wondering, is that why it feels not stupidly cold? Did Jess crack the geode open yet? No idea. She's barely spoken to me. I picked her up on Friday. I've not heard from her since. Because she obviously didn't need anything after that. Including, I have no idea what time I'm picking her up in the morning. And I need to know because I can get up at 7 as normal. If she's in at 7:45, it'll just be up, get myself ready, make a cup of tea and leave before I drink it. Or if she's in at 8, I can get up, have my cup of tea, take it. If she's in at 8:30, I've then got to work out, because she lives round the corner from a school, how busy is it going to be? Have the temporary traffic lights moved yet again to keep moving back towards us? Just fucking mental. But I will tell her, I will warn her. Get it opened, otherwise smash, punch face. Is Jinxie still awake? It's still sat upright. Windows open there and it's actually still 10 degrees outside. I think it's 8 here. But it doesn't feel cold, and it did earlier. There's no wind. There was yesterday. It felt really, really proper blustery. And then all of a sudden today, not a breath of wind, and it doesn't feel anywhere near as cold now. But I need to put some stuff in the recycling, so when I go later, I will find out whether or not it's okay or disgusting. Kirsty bought a packet of salt and vinegar McCoys, barely any crisps, but the packets before it had more in. Salt and vinegar McCoys, and if they go wrong, which they do quite regularly, I don't think there's any other crisp on earth that's worse than salt and vinegar McCoys if they've gone slightly stale. It's like licking a carpet. No wind there either. I'm not surprised. It's all been used up. Every last little bit of it has been used up. Being parked up by the beach yesterday while I was just waiting for that storm to go over. I could feel the car getting shook side to side, and it's a big heavy car. Like, just thought, this is strange weather. Sunny on one side, dark clouds on the other, hailstones, rain, sun. Mork and Mindy. I couldn't get out and do anything. Couldn't get out and film. I couldn't walk on the beach because it looked like it was that kind of thing where the wind was going sideways with hailstone and sand in it. You would just get your face torn off. It's ridiculous. No, Mandy's top of the points because bizarrely Mandy has watched almost a fortnight in the combined streams of these, which is just, to this day I still think it's bizarre. That total amount of time is just crazy. "13 days, 11 hours and 15 minutes. You're going to hit a fortnight, an entire fortnight of watch time. The whale's gone mad. that's all it took, you wouldn't have bothered watching. Well said. Let's have a look. What do you want? Have a look, have a look, have a look. I'll scroll through and see if I can find. Connor, you've been watching for a combined total of 1 day and 1 hour. 25 hours in total. Isn't it mad? Mandy's just dedicated. It's like everyone on this stream. Sorry, very, very supportive. Mandy's also obviously crazy after watching that long. That's all I can think of. Absolutely crazy. But no, it's fantastic. I do appreciate the support. I really do. I'm a lovely guy, that's why. Oh, thanks, Kirsty. I'm not. I pretend to be, but doing a good job of it, obviously. Backpedaling wildly. Too late. Ali, how you going on, are you? Right, you'll be the last one on then if that's the case. Casper, let's have a look. You are now up to... this thing, hurry up. Casper, it's 5 days, 15 hours and 50 minutes. That's combined watch hours. 5 days, 15 hours and 50 minutes. Isn't that just insane? You could have had a holiday somewhere instead of watching me. There you go. Ali on the bar, we love you. Oh, thank you, Ali. Shucks. He's a lovely guy. I am. Thanks. I didn't even notice the bar wasn't there. You're that dedicated. You are. But yeah, I think it is mad. And I know doing 3 hour streams, it soon builds up. But even so, that's a huge amount of time to spend with people. And I don't think it's a second wasted, to be honest. Not from my side of things, anyway. Probably for yourselves, you're looking, thinking, I could have been doing something else completely. Could have been doing something far more interesting, far more important. But, you know, for me, it's fantastic. I've said it before, I can't go to the pub anymore. I'm not working in town anymore. I don't work in Liverpool. I'm not meeting my mates and going for a drink. So, this is it. And it's a really good fit for what I'm missing. Because it's the same kind of thing. It's the same, having a laugh with everyone. Talking about shite, but interesting shite. I like it. It's keeping me going, man. It's keeping me going. I'm not blushing, it's the lights, honest. It is crazy, isn't it? I'm worth it. Oh, thank you. A lovely guy in good company. I would settle for that. On average, you'd be on YouTube 60 hours a week, 2.5 days a week, and it's mad how soon these things add up. They really do. All right for a Scouser. I know, just about, aren't I? Just about. Time for shots. Green chartreuse for you, of course. Ali, be on less now because you're back to work. Oh, yeah, tomorrow, isn't it? Good luck tomorrow, Ali. Good luck tomorrow. But you can't wait for that. Back to it. That's a good thing, that, though. I know it's nice spending time on YouTube. I do myself, but getting out and doing a bit, far more important. Yeah, good luck. We're all behind you. You'll smash it. You will. As always. Shots. Go ahead. Having it large. Yes. Hopefully things will get back to normal. It was too long of a break. But you've had a break, so hopefully you go back into this now fully refreshed and ready to tackle the new year. New year, new you and all that stuff. Plus, Dwayne Eddies. You'll be trying to get out when you get busy. You say that now, you won't. Just think back to when you were doing nothing. Think, oh, I'd rather be doing this instead. Definitely. Scaffolding's going up tomorrow, so a day off for you. You're back and your knee are over the moon. Ah, man. Back still knackered, Steve. Make sure you have a proper off day. Get yourself ready for the next phase of operations. Man, you've not been round for a while. Look well. Definitely getting there. Just one of those really long roads, isn't it? There's any kind of serious illness or injury. Just got to be prepared for the long haul. And you will improve constantly. Keep telling myself this. I'm not doing as well as I'd like with my hand, but I can do things with it I couldn't do a couple of months ago. Like zipping up a hoodie. I can now sort of do that with my left hand. Not always, but it's definitely a step forward. I will get there. As Jed as my witless, I will get there. It's not going to beat me. Because it's my own fault I'm in this position in the first place. And I'm not letting myself beat myself. Not a chance. Yep, Steve, sore back. I feel with your knee as well, mate. It's horrible. Knee and back, I've had both problems with them. You can't do anything, can you? I mean, absolutely, literally, there's nothing you can do that doesn't involve either manual lifting or even sat in a desk chair. Your back starts hurting. Doing great. I'm getting there, definitely. I just got to make sure that I'm not getting in that position where I'm getting annoyed with people like I was last week and almost did this week as well. When people piss me off by saying things, I'm thinking, why have you asked that question? One of which is me ma constantly. Are you okay? Are you alright? Not are you alright? Are you alright, as though there's something wrong with me? Which I know there is something wrong with me, but I'm trying to improve and also to keep on working on the confidence that things are going well. To have someone constantly asking you like there's something really desperately wrong. Like I've walked in and part of my head was missing or something. It's like, come on, just, even if that's what you're thinking, just be quiet, don't ask it. But, I just need to work on that. Don't get annoyed with people. Because normally it doesn't bother me. When I find that I am, that's the point where I need to just get out in the car, go and park up, do a sunset stream or something and get out the house. Notice it before it happens. Rest the knee, definitely rest the knee. Raise the leg, keep it out the way. Definitely come a long way. Lots of targets hit, definitely lots of targets hit. Virtually unrecognisable from my first streams, yes. When I was a 4-foot black woman. I think we can both say we've moved on from there, haven't we? Now that I'm also 2 inches taller than I was at the first streams. Yeah, you're not looking after yourself. You're driving around the countryside and walking around wind pumps. It can be hard to be patient, but at the same time, Donald, it's one of those where it's my family. My family are doing the best for me and trying the best and worried, but there are times where it's just, right, I get it. You want me to get better, but stop going on and on because it's just knocking me back slightly. If I see that happening, it's just get out. Get in the car. I'm lucky I can do that now. I couldn't when I first came home. I was relying on people constantly, but now I can just jump in the car, take my bag with me with all my film and stuff, and my streaming stuff, go and have a drive, either film something or go and park up, listen to some music. If there's a nice sunset like there was last week, jump out and very quickly set the camera up and do a live stream from where I am. I love stuff like that. When you get older, you get pains in places you didn't know you had places. Absolutely. I forget who it was who told that original joke about, you're getting old when you make a noise getting into and out of a chair, but it's 100% right. At some point in your life, when you get into a chair, you go, oh, and then as you get up, that's when you know you're starting to get old. Things click when they shouldn't click, creak when they shouldn't creak. And the occasional early morning shout of, ooh, you bastard, happens for me anyway. I used to be a bear. I used to be a bear. Now you can't bear me. Oh, man. Yeah, but that's another thing I need to remember as well. I'm 51. I'm not a kid. So even if I was completely fully fit, I would still be slowing down slightly. Even playing five-a-side every Thursday, I would still be slowing down slightly. Naturally, because of the age thing, but add on top of that the fact that explodey brain. It's remarkable to be where I am now, so yeah. Don't be too harsh on myself and don't be too harsh on the people around me who are doing their best for me, and just have my best interests at heart. Take a deep breath, wander out, get in the car and disappear, and come back in a much better mood. Donald, you started getting get out of the chair noises in your late 20s. Maybe just more mature than most people. Starting early. Can you get out of a chair though? That's another thing. If you can't get out of the chair in the first place, that's when you know you're in trouble. I had to buy a new sofa. Well, it's not even a sofa, it's a love seat, I think. Because it's higher. The old sofa that I had was really low down. And I didn't have the strength in my legs when I got home from the hospital to be able to get up and do it. So I had to buy another sofa, which has really helped. Now I can get out of... That old sofa is in the conservatory now. I can get out of it, it's not a problem. No, that was a pleasure doing that for you, Mandy. There you go. You wanted to wait until after the summer so it wasn't so busy. That's absolutely brilliant thinking. Yeah. You can see more of it because there's less people bouncing around anyway. But yeah, and it looked a lovely day to go as well. Quite atmospheric. Started going grey at 15. I've got mates like that as well. Mates who were completely grey before they were 20. How old is a good innings now? I think it all depends on what kind of life someone's lived. I'm pretty sure anyway. Depending on what they got up to. I don't know, 80s, mid-80s, is that a good innings nowadays, or are we looking 90s now? Need to charge your phone, Kirsty. Surprise, surprise, as they say in Japan. Means a lot. I think it's a lovely thing to do, so yeah. Thank you very much, Steve and Helen and Ruby Lou too. It's a lovely thing to do that. Roll out of chairs now. Oh, do you have to move sideways a couple of times first? We had a mate in our work who was one of the laziest bastards the world's ever seen. He was the fella that, after he'd been binned off, we met him in the pub, he said, oh, I'm earning far more money these days that I'm on disability than I was when I worked with you lot. You're earning more money on disability, really. He was trying to reach a paper. A big lad. He was trying to reach a paper that was on the floor, and he ended up doing this. Rocked side to side 4 or 5 times, and then when he finally got the weight to move in the right direction, leant down to grab his paper, and the whole chair collapsed. And we tried to keep the broken wheel off it and paint it gold. We're going to have it as a trophy in the office, but they have to take it away and use it as evidence, which is a pity. He was the one that tried to have, when he found out that the building had asbestos in it, he started coughing. It's got asbestos in this building. Someone said to me, it takes 20 odd years for this to come out, you know. I thought he was going to have a week off with it the following week. Yeah, it was a lovely thing to do. Definitely. Love stuff like that. It's always nice when someone goes to the effort of doing something for you, like Ali, the same way you did with your parcel that you sent me. Mandy was making all the potatoes for me, and Steve and Helen sending videos and things. It's a lovely thing to do, so it is appreciated when that happens. We have to start rocking out of the sofa to get up. It starts being problematic. Absolutely. Kirsty's on charge. Good stuff. Joust, stay away. Stay away from that wire. Really lovely, sitting there drinking latte. It's the right time of year as well, I'm sure it is. It's not too hot, it's not too crowded. You can sit and have your coffee and just in a nice area, chilling. Lovely, lovely stuff. Kirsty had a mate who went bald before his 18th birthday. It happens. The body's such a weird thing that you could have 2 brothers who look identical as little kids, when they grow older, just don't even look the same anymore because one's gone fat and old and bald by the time they're 25 and the other one looks like a spring chicken. Mad, innit? Got to have a charger. It's got to be at least one. Should have them everywhere. Should just the entire house should have hooks everywhere with chargers hanging off them. Know a few people like that as well. It must happen. Just coded into your DNA, isn't it? Joust is asleep. Shh, Joust. On the rocking chair on top of your clothes. That must be comfy. You love a rocking chair. I wouldn't mind a rocking chair myself. And a nice cardigan. A Val Doonican style cardigan and rocking chair combo. I could do that. Lotus Eaters, first picture of you. Good Scouse band. Good Scouse tune. I love this tune. Fair play to whoever put that on the Juki. Did we come from a time where about 99% of people's houses, or grandparents' houses especially, used to have a rocking chair somewhere? Everyone used to have them. Don't forget the blanket. Got to have a tartan blanket as well, definitely. Got to have a tartan blanket. I've got my thermos. Not sponsored. What are you playing at, thermos, you knobhead? Sponsor us, send us free stuff. A thermos flask, a tartan blanket, a cardie. What more can you ask for? Steve, you got a good Starsky cardie. I can visualise that. Proper big lapels on it. I had one of them. It was like the zip was about the size of a dinky toy or something. One of them. And you couldn't even zip it up to the top because it had big sort of collary things on it as well. Brown, I think it was, with beige. Brown and beige cardie. Starsky cardie. I'm sure I saw Starsky cardie supporting 8 Mile Radius in Toronto in 1972. Hot chocolate. Joust. Love beanbags. That is one hell of a thing to get out of, that, O'Donnell. One hell of a thing to get out of. If you can do that, you are young beyond your age. I'm convinced the only people that can get out of beanbag chairs are lads under the age of 11. No one else. You put that tune on. Mandy, fair play to you. Thank you very much. It's a boss tune now. It's also on the Everton Howard Kendall documentary, Howard's Way, about the 1980s, mid-80s football team that we had. Our best in our history. So it was my growing up of Everton being the best team in the league, and also this kind of music. That hand in hand of that football, that era, that music. Oh, just fantastic. Went hand in hand. Val Doonican knew how to rock and it where he did. Absolutely did. And also to sing. Just to sit off as though he was doing nothing, but held an audience in his hand. Good old Val. Its big blue collar looks good with your flat cap. You've got a flat cap as well. I've got flat caps. I'm not sure I could rock one like you could, though. I'm convinced. I reckon you'd proper rock a flat cap. Man, do you like beanbags? Couldn't eat a whole one now. There's not as much stuff in beanbags these days because of shrinkflation. Probably could now. They are boss like, but they are a nightmare to get out of unless you've got one of those things, the hospital-y things that you can grab hold of and pull yourself up. Nightmare to get out of, absolutely. At any age, I am convinced 11-year-old boys or younger can get out of them, no one else can. I haven't sneezed. Have you noticed? All the way through. Thinking to myself, I'm going to sneeze any second now, and I haven't. Yet. I've done well. Which also means I'm going to have my lemsip. So I can have a lemsip and a lemon goo together, side by side. Nice, proper little combo there. Both lemony. Yep. In the town where I was born lived a man who sailed the seas. That's not as much Ringo as Michael Angelis who followed him, wasn't it? Doing Thomas the Tank Engine, you know. First of all, you go really high up and then it goes slightly down, you know. Slow down, said the fat controller. You're going to have an accident. You can't call him that anymore, can you? He's not the fat controller, he's the Topham Hatt. It'd be a fair bit of chewing it would, wouldn't it? A proper full-size beanbag. Can't remember the last time you even saw a beanbag. Never mind sat in one. They still exist. They do still exist. People have them. You've got to keep the smut in. You've got to. It wouldn't be our chat if it wasn't fully smutted up. It normally reduces in smut when Jackie falls asleep anyway, so we're all right. It's a hell of a submarine in Offaly, that one, isn't it? On the back of a low loader. You have a river flowing through Offaly. Does it go all the way to sea? All rivers do, don't they? Oh, bit of Russ Abbott atmosphere, go ahead. It is, the range is exactly the kind of place where you would buy a beanbag. And I'm sure it's the kind of thing that they would have in stock. And whoever orders them, we don't need to order any more. We've got 25 of them, and then the following day, we've sold all of them. Shite, go and order more beanbags before they know where it is. You like Spencer's new puppy? Yellow Submarine reminded you. Is it Trooper? Is that the one? Is that little puppy? Gorgeous little thing, that, isn't it? He's adorable. The puppy or Spencer? Which one? Go on. There was a lad that lived near you called Sinker. He was a JCB driver. He kept sinking it. He always sang the Yellow Submarine. Did Spencer miss all the storms? Did he manage to get away with it? Some of the our friends on the East Coast. Because it looked horrible, didn't it? When you see, I think there was the International Space Station. They showed you that flying over the top of the storm. And it was like, it seemed like a quarter of the globe was taken up by this one bloody storm. And how on earth are you going to end up getting out of this? But hopefully they've been all right. Yeah, he's been grand. Oh well, that's good to hear. Hopefully they all touched lucky. He's super, is Trooper. A light's going to find him. It's an ABBA joke, by the way. That was worth a badum-tis as well. Definitely worth a badum-tis. In fact, you know what? No. Yes, Mandy, he was super. There you go, you're getting a dad joke despite the fact that you are not a father. And I still need to fix a mum joke, don't I? We need a mum joke to go with the dad joke one. You know, the northwest of North Carolina was hit bad. I'm not sure where he lived. Yeah, I'm not sure where he is myself either, to be honest with you, but anywhere on that eastern seaboard looked like it was a worry. But hopefully if everyone's alright, we're okay. I know I saw Boomer was talking about it, saying they managed to get really lucky as well. There was they even kept power on when there's loads of people around them had no power. So he's grateful for the fact that it could have been a lot worse than it actually was. So hopefully less people have been affected by it than could have been, because there's been some absolutely horrific things happened over the years. But whenever you see anything like that, where those storms come from, they could literally hit anywhere from Florida all the way through to where we're talking about Alabama, Mississippi, all the way up there. They could hit anywhere. Which is why New Orleans got absolutely obliterated, didn't it? All those years ago. Mad. And it's going to happen more and more by the look of it. With the way the weather is these days. The weather outside is frightful. We sing. No, it's not. A little bit of rain or snow. It's nothing like that at all, man. Although I got my car done yesterday. I was sat in the car while they were doing the snow foam over the windows, and genuinely, just while I was sat there for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, I thought to myself, I wish it was snowing now. I hope if we're having a bad winter this year, we have loads of snow. Hopefully I'll be working from home anyway, so I don't need to go anywhere, but it'd be nice to have a proper snowy winter, even if it only lasts for 2 or 3 weeks. Just, I don't know, it makes everywhere look nice, doesn't it? Although I have got a rear-wheel drive automatic car, which is not really good for driving in snow. Saw that a tornado hit Florida just before the hurricane. Oh, bloody hell, double bubble. Christ. Just no getting away from it, is there? Where they are, in that particular part in the world, just no getting away from it at all. There's going to be at least a couple of them every year by the look of it. New Orleans was bad with Katrina, wasn't it, yeah? The ineptitude of the US Army Engineering Corps. It's mad, isn't it? Sticky snowy winter. Nah, but you know, alright, just in this one postcode, will that do? Can we have winter in this one postcode? Because we never get it. The entire country can be 6 feet under snow and we just don't get it whatsoever. Yeah, you stopped watching KB when he started wearing a crown and playing hangman. I don't really watch him myself these days, but occasionally see it pop up when he said everything was okay. Like, you know, he's got a new young family. You know, hopefully they're all right. Said you're doing home visits day in, day out, of course, yeah. The snow does light up the dark nights. That proper 2010, was it? That really, really bad winter we had. I loved it. I was stuck at home for a week. But it was, oh man, it was fantastic. The snow was 3 feet deep in Southport. Despite the fact that there's snow and sand everywhere, it's still stuck. Don't get it like we used to. We definitely don't. And we live too close to the coast. We do normally, but that one year, 2010, it was about 3 feet deep. And that is to say, Casper, that light, there's an artificial, which is not an artificial light at all. It's the white of the snow makes everything look a little bit brighter. That light is amazing. You see pictures of footballers. There's a great picture of Alex Young. And you can tell it's been snowing just by the look on his face. It's lit from below as well as from above. There's just a certain kind of vibe to that light, which I absolutely love. So yeah, maybe one more winter. Just one more winter. Even if it only lasts a month, I'll settle for that. You miss the snow that you used to get in London. Just doesn't seem to happen anymore. Whether that's climate change or HARP, they're stopping us getting snow. 2010 was the year you went up to the Isle of Skye on the sleeper train in the snow. Enormous drifts. 2010 was the beast from the east, wasn't it? But your sky looked absolutely stunning in the snow, though. Yeah, when you was younger, long time ago when we was fab, you know. When you like where you are, you can see snow on Rwyddfa, but no snow sticks there. Best of both worlds. You get to look at it, but not have to walk through it. Yeah, 2010-11 winter was insane. Beast from the east, man. Like Steve said, we live too close to the coast. You normally don't get any snow sticking because it's too salty and too sandy. You might get a few flakes here and there, or it'll snow and it'll melt within the space of half an hour, but that year it's stuck around all week. Snow mutes sound, so it gives off a certain quiet as the snow absorbs the sound waves. Actually, yeah, of course it does. So there's an otherworldly vibe in colour. It's quiet. If the moon is out as well, while there's snow on the ground, that looks stunning, absolutely stunning. You miss walking through the snow, Kirsty. I do as well. I miss being able to walk in general, to be honest with you. That's one thing I am worried about if it does happen this year. But I've got a treadmill in the house so I can keep on doing my steps, can't I? Big Jet TV said there's snow on the hilltops of Aberdeenshire already. It does get cold up there, doesn't it? Plenty of snow up there as well. I bet it looks lovely. I bet you're also in Rwyddfa, the whole of Snowdonia, Eryri. But that looks fantastic as well with the snow on there. I'm hoping this time round, if there is any snow on the fells up down here, on a nice clear day, you can probably see Pendle Hill and all that, and Black Combe in the Lake District. You can see that with the snow on it. I want to see if I can get some pictures this year round. Now that I know where everything is and what it is. Be nice, that. Must have left early Monday to get home Monday afternoon for work on Tuesday afternoon. Walked into work having not been home. Thank God I had a mate in Edinburgh. Yeah, I was stuck at home for 5 days because there was Birkdale Cop, which is just round the corner. There was something burst, a main burst there. So you couldn't get anything. It was just frozen solid. Something else burst just round the corner. None of the buses could stop here anymore. It's and I couldn't walk. The nearest office was 2.5 miles away, and I couldn't walk there. Definitely couldn't walk there. Can you get to a train station within half an hour? On a good day, I can get there within half an hour. On a day like this, it's going to take me about 3 hours to get to a train station. And even then, there's no guarantee that the train will go to where I'm supposed to be going in the first bloody place. So I stayed at home for a week. But I had to use my leave, even though it was nothing to do with me. Bastards. Yeah, when you were a kid in Oldham, every year you had to dig yourselves out. There's definitely been a change for whatever reason. Yeah, Oldham, that's the proper snowy area, I would have thought as well. There's lots of Greater Manchester where it seems to be a really snowy environment, which it's not anymore. But the 70s and 80s, there was a lot more snow around then than there is now. Even Liverpool, despite being on the coast, we used to have loads of snow. We don't. Don't really get much snow where you are on the west coast of Ireland as well. Yeah, there's snow in the mountains for about 5 or 6 months in 2010-11. That was classed for climbing. You've got the same thing we have with the Gulf Stream. Keeps it a little bit too warm for snow to stick, and for normally the snow carries on going across Ireland, across where we are on the northwest, and then you'll get it all over the Pennines, Yorkshire, and Newcastle and places like that, or Scotland. We're quite lucky. If it does rain in London and stays put, you'll go walking it no matter what time. As you should. Walk like a penguin in the snow, apparently. Which is great, you can walk like a penguin. But you can't get anywhere quick when you do that. You won't fall over, but you can't walk anywhere quick. Yeah, it's snow. Class for climbing. I think I'm not really good with heights at the best of time, but climbing in snow. Suppose it'd be safer climbing in Ireland than it would be in like Everest or something. But even so, still got to be careful. Walk like an Egyptian in snow. You can do. Walk like that all year round. Harp will sort the Gulf Stream. It will. We'll have snow during July, and then sun will be cracking the flags during December, all down to Harp. The ground will be fairly rough, so not very slippy on the mountains unless the snow's thick. It'll be covered in snow, but it's really craggy, isn't it? So you'll be sound wandering up and down there. Let's hope for a snowy winter. Even just in my postcode, I'll settle for that. Just to get out with in fact, balls to it. Just our back garden will do. Just want to do a little bit of filming out there. I'll settle for that. Or snow on the beach would be nice. There's many massive mountains there. It's not too bad. I love the idea of climbing, but I'm absolutely shit scared of heights. Unfortunately. I'd have loved to have done a bit of a wander up to Everest Base Camp, but I don't think I'd manage to do that nowadays either. Maybe. Snow is a thing of the past, just heavy rain. Well, it is where we are anyway. There are other places you can go to where it will snow heavily, but I think most of that, it's going to be east of the Pennines, and it's going to be in the north. Newcastle will always have snow. Snows in Newcastle in August, you know what I mean? Yes, I did see that. Sandy Irvine's remains have been found, finally. After exactly 100 years, isn't it? It was 1924, wasn't it, that he went missing, I think, was he? But what does it mean? That's the thing now, isn't it? I know they can't really work out, because if you're in a glacier, you could have been there for 10 weeks, could have been there for 100 years, you just don't know. But what does it mean about, did they make it to the top? Have they found it? Did they find the camera? Did the Chinese steal the camera, like so many people have said? They found it and took the camera because it would have shown that they got there first and all that stuff. Be interesting to find out what the actual outcome of it is. I watched, what's his name? Everest Mystery. The sort of the long grey-haired hippie dude who does all that kind of stuff. He was talking about it the other day, but it was just more about we found him. He was part of the, was it 1999, was it? No, it can't be 99. The people that found George Mallory. He was on that particular shoot. He was one of the cameramen on that shoot. Be interesting that though. What happens next? What other information have they found? Good morning, Jackie. Good morning. How's Charlie? Yeah, Birkenhead boy he was. Your school had a climbing wall named for him. As well they should. All those proper old school adventurers, they were absolutely next level. Nowadays, you can take a nap on your phone, which tells you routes, tells you exactly how to get somewhere. You can send emails while you're up there, you can do what you feel like. They had no idea where they were going, just look up. There's a massive mountain. Can we get up there? Let's have a go. Wearing stuff that we wouldn't wear to go to the match in these days because it wouldn't be warm enough. Old school adventurers are just away with it. What incredible people. Scott, Amundsen and all them lot as well, polar explorers. Anyone that was climbing the massive mountains. Just mad, aren't they? Let's give it a go. The whole thing as well. Why do you want to climb it? Because it's there. That is the spirit of those people. What's wrong with you? Why do you want to do that? Well, it's there, isn't it? Let's get up there and let's have a go. Steve, you once built a climbing wall at the big posh school near you years ago. Proper. Can he build it? Bet your arse he can. Bloody hell, I bet that was a hell of a job, that, wasn't it? Something different. When they said, can you build us a wall? Yeah, of course you want. What is it? What, 6 foot, 8 foot? No, 30 foot in the air with handholds. Halfway up there was an ibex up there. And a snow leopard. Marvellous. Too bleeding right he can. That was going to be something else, but the AI wouldn't let me use that particular word that I wanted to use. Terrible behaviour from AI, isn't it? Who do they think they are? Too bleeding right they can. Shackleton and Co. legend, yeah. I mean, I say we're standing on the shoulders of giants. We can do things that we can go places and know what the place is going to be like because all these lunatics from years ago went, yeah, we don't know what it's like, let's go anyway. And if we survive, we'll draw a map of it and we'll tell people what it was like. James Cook or Magellan, Columbus, all the people that went around the world. Someone's got to do it first. These people were absolute lunatics for wanting to do it, but fair play. Proper minerals on them. And with equipment that was just not even basic. You can go and buy stuff from Sports Direct now, which will protect you better than the stuff they had. It's mad. But brilliant. Yes, dogging as well, Kirsty, dogging as well. Not just language, but dogging as well. AI doesn't seem to like that. But you think it would do, wouldn't you? Being up to no good. There's a wall on the end of a tech school. You had a drawing showing us which bricks to leave sticking out in a pattern to allow them to climb. All right. Wow. So that's been designed specifically by someone with certain bricks sticking out. That's fantastic. What a great idea that is. The shack that Shackleton died in was restored in a place about 3 miles from you. There was a documentary made about it. Wow. I mean, those people just balls on them. Absolutely. Imagine that. We're bored. What should we do? Let's go and walk to the end of the earth. Yeah, go ahead. Why not? And they did. I mean, not everyone that went anywhere came back, but... And they knew, most of them knew there was a good chance they weren't coming back. Man, absolutely incredible. A different mindset doing that. I love mountaineering. I love the idea of what it takes to climb the likes of Mount Everest or K2, Kanchenjunga, things like that. Really, really difficult mountains to climb. Well, Everest's not difficult anymore, is it? But it's still, you can't climb things like that without having serious risks. But the ones who started it off, just how do you even start doing stuff like that? Being there at the very, very start of it. To say, now you get a nap. This is the best way to get up there. These are the 4 or 5 routes you can take. If you reach this point and get stuck, do this instead or that instead. None of that. It's just literally up you go. No radio mics that work. Nothing. Just a bit of Kendall mint cake. And the thought of having a pint when you got downstairs. Downstairs. Off a fucking mountain. Nick, you're a half-wit. The Bering Strait between Russia and the USA is named after a Danish explorer. As it should be. So you got the Magellan Straits, haven't you? You've got Captain Cook, the Cook Straits. If you're out there in a boat at the very start of this, you deserve to have things named after you. A village called Letterfrack in Connemara. Let's have a look at this one, man. Cheating, having a route up the climbing wall. You should have made it harder, missed a few handholds, or even better, no, have the bricks sticking out so that you can grab hold of them, but have 1 in every 10 not cemented in, so when you grab it, let's see how they survive with that. Then the documentary's on YouTube. We'll have to check that one out then. We'll have to have a look at that, definitely. I love stuff like that. Each style or bond of brickwork has a name like Flemish or English. He later called the climbing wall the Burglar Bond. Flemish, I bet you there's loads of Flemish Bond, isn't there, where you are? I did see a programme, I think it might have been Coast, where they mentioned the bricks that were put onto ships coming over here to trade with us. They put bricks on to keep it more down in the water and then drop bricks off and bring it laden with stuff back over to Belgium, and it was just going back and forward, bringing loads of Belgian bricks. So there's loads of places in East Anglia that's made out of Belgian bricks because of that. I like that. Bloody hell, 22 minutes past 11. We've gone on here, haven't we? Oh, I need to go and have a glass of wine. A glass of wine. Well, you know what's coming next, don't you? Get your dancing shoes on, because it's about to happen. The fellow that runs the restoration place is called Sven. He's German. Right beside a furniture college. They do furniture design, production and restoration courses. Definitely have to check that one out. I like that. Bricks for ballast on barges were then filled with wool or grain on the way back. Yep. So you end up with bricks everywhere. And what do you do with them? You build. So you end up with places over here that look like places over there, and places over there that look like places over here. Yeah, but hang on. Right, clean screen. Which means dancing shoes time.
Another great night here at the Bears Paws. Folks, go give yourself a round of applause. We've had a good chat and told the odd joke. Now get in our hot tub for a post-stream soak.
And that's that.
Hoo-yah!